How's it going, everyone? It's DJ. No, I'm not gonna do that again.
I thought you were gonna do Moist Critical there. It sounded like Moist Critical.
What's up, guys?
It's critical here.
Anyways, football is back, baby. Actually, should I play the? I'll play the Senator Armstrong game.
Well, that's a thing. I should have asked this before stream. What are we covering today?
We are covering the first NFL preseason game. It's on NBC right now, apparently, because who wants to watch preseason?
I'm not gonna lie. It's funny because I'm like, oh, we could do Yankees Astros because they're playing it right
We
now.
could.
But no, I'm good with the preseason. It's funny because I actually dude, time is going so fast right now that I'm like, oh shit, we're in August.
No. I always forget the Hall of Fame game is this year, but since I've been getting up, I guess I don't know. I feel like the preseason is always like an interesting time to be like a sports to like watch your favorite football team, because if you're like following your team like religiously, then you're like, oh, okay, let's see how the rookies are doing. It's like
Oh
a first
yeah.
glimpse of like free agents that you signed, and then obviously there's going to be like, oh, if there's like an undrafted player that you like from like a local college and you're following them, you're just like, hey, he could be that. He can make the roster.
And you can't be too delusional about it because if you recall, whenever the Cleveland Browns went 0-17, they went 4-0 in the in the preseason.
What?
Yeah, isn't that beast?
That tells you how much depth Cleveland has, which they're playing tonight.
That tells you how much Q Jackson is a cancer.
He's a beast in the preseason. Undefeated.
That's why they need Freddie Kitchens back.
Frederick Kitchens, who they get. I still can't believe that hire. You fired your interim offensive coordinator.
Wait, so football and baseball started in Ohio because
No, well,
football started in Canton, right?
yeah,
But
they're
then
starting in Canton.
baseball started in Cincy, I think.
It's debatable because the Hall of Fame is in New York, which I guess there's like some, I don't know. It's the official story, but it's incredibly convoluted in terms of like how reliable it is.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. Like, baseball's so freaking old that you probably couldn't trace it to any like one thing. Like, I feel like your natural inclination is like, oh yeah, New York owns it because I mean, like, who's like the one team everybody wants to watch? The Mets, the Mickeys. Also, how about LeBron James' failed school?
No.
And I love it because he's also not taking responsibility for it, which is like, yeah, like he's obviously not the ones teaching him, but like at the same time, I think he like invested like 8 million into the school. So it's like, how are people like if there's it's weird, right? Because like actually, and you would get this of all people. You're an accountant, so um, like whenever you think about like math being like, oh, why do we need to learn this? It's like there's actually plenty of real world applications.
What if like LeBron tried to start like a Bishop Sycamore High School, because Bishop Sycamore was like one of those like schools that like some coach's dad would start in order to like have like a really good football program and not really give a crap about school.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's yeah. Like, what if like that actually would be funny if it was like all a scandal, where it was just like LeBron of all people was running this from the shadows, and it took people this long.
Well,
to
Brett Favre
figure out.
did that when he was donating like college money to like the I don't know what college it was. It might have been like Southern Miss.
Now, is that separate from the welfare thing,
It, yeah, I think I think that what I think those
or
are
is that
linked.
part of the welfare thing?
I think it's part of the welfare thing.
Yeah, what the hell is up? Like, it's weird. I think Green Bay does breed the weirdest people because, like, look at Don Hudson. He's a beast, and he's not even really that
True.
weird. He's not even that weird, but it's also like weird for him, in his position to be as good as he was for his time, right?
True.
Um, I remember I saw the documentary, like the mini doc of Don Hudson. It was like, so why are the Green Bay Packers willing to pay perennial all-star Don Hudson $175 a day? And I'm like, holy crap, $175 a day, that's beast.
But I do $175 a day.
Just to catch a ball, but to be the best at it for your era. I mean, Don Hudson, you could make an argument, I think, for like top 10, right? Or maybe top 15.
Quarterbacks of all time. Well, there's gonna be those people like, well, if he was playing in today's league.
Yeah.
Give this man credit. He was a beast.
First era, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't know. I think like those like old school quarterbacks like Otto Graham, Johnny Unitas. I think they deserve like some merit.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like I feel like cornerbacks didn't really start being good until like around like the 2000s, like or like DBs in general. Because like
Yeah,
I just think Dion, right? Everyone thinks Dion when it comes to like good DBs.
yeah. Especially like because Dion kind of started the trend of like, okay, I'm gonna be like a fashionable icon.
Well, yeah, he was willing to be in the spotlight, and he actually handled it pretty well for the most part.
Oh yes,
Um,
Dion. Did you hear that? Colorado moves to the Big 12.
I heard about that. Isn't that crazy? That's actually nuts. So,
College
like,
football is just
oh, I thought they were going to get rid of conferences like soon or something.
well, there you have the two mega conferences because the SEC got Texas and Oklahoma, which I
Yeah,
mean, Oklahoma has been a good football school. Well, I don't know. They got ever since Lincoln Riley left. I think they've been terrible. And then Texas has been. It's like no, they're like Notre Dame. They're like they can be good, and
yeah.
Notre Dame is typically good. Texas, but they're
And
like
then
built off like legacy.
and then there's UConn, just
And then there's
horrible.
UConn. We have women's basketball and
Well,
men's.
they're actually good at men's, right?
Yeah, they won the championship this year.
Oh wait, they won March Madness.
Yeah, they won
Or
March Madness.
I actually forgot.
Connecticut's been getting up in college sports. Like you got UConn winning the men's college basketball national championship, and then you had Quinnipiac. They won the hockey national championship, even though no one gives a crap about college hockey
Yeah, unfortunately.
unless you
I don't
live
know.
in Minnesota or Massachusetts. Then
Yeah, it's weird because it's like when we talk about hockey on here, we always talk about how it's dying, but like you have to figure there still is like a bunch of Canadians that want to watch hockey.
oh yeah,
Like it's not just US people. Like, I mean, I think that's the tough draw is like you have to figure like if you're a hockey player, you're either probably from Canada or like Eastern European and mainly probably Russian. Like there isn't a whole lot of Americans that play it. I mean, there is who's that one Florida Panther? They have a Florida Panther that uh he is a I think he's black actually. I forgot what his name was though. Hockey. He's actually pretty good for them too. I will say the Bruins probably have one of the best jerseys, despite not being very likable.
true. By the way, let's see here.
That big SB in the front of the shirt.
Yeah.
I actually think that's really. I think that's like low key hard. It's actually pretty cool.
Kickoff. There we
All
go.
right. So
Football's back, baby.
what are you watching this on? What's it on?
NBC. They
Oh
find
shoot.
some way to stream it. And Cleveland's gonna get the ball. Let's see who comes in. That quarterback is not Deshaun Watson. It's is that Kellen Mond? Yes, it is. Former Vikings third round pick of.
Now, do
of
they nowadays for the preseason? Because it's been a while since I've really like watched a preseason game. Do they normally put in their starting crew like the first half or something?
Sometimes they do. If it's like early on the preseason, I guess not for the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
They'll do it, but
Because like you have to figure that would suck to like get someone hurt in the preseason. I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's true, and it has happened before.
well,
Like
shoot, there's people like getting hurt already. Like for
yeah, like Joe Burrow in training camp.
yeah. Wait, how long is he out for?
I have no idea, but they don't have a good backup quarterback. It's Trevor Simeon.
Ooh. Now, if they had Chad Henne,
Yeah, Chad Henne. that would be beast. But
I mean,
no,
you know what? I feel like Chad Henne's jersey definitely got a lot of sales in Kansas
after
City.
after he clapped Cleveland. But Kellen Mond, former Vikings third round pick. I'm pretty sure you had high hopes for this guy.
Well, what's it called? We drafted a lot of. I think we actually did pretty well in the draft this year. But that's the problem. It's like we drafted another good wide receiver. It's like we always do that. It's like, can we draft a good QB? It's like, oh yeah, we could draft Christian Ponder. Beast.
First down
Actually,
right there.
we drafted him, right? Or did we like trade for him? Actually, we might have traded for him. Or we might have.
No, you drafted him.
Oh, jeez.
And that was a reach at the time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
First down right there for Cleveland as the Jets defense looks a little bit rocky. Let's
Is
down,
DJ
down
is
player for the
DJ Ace,
Jets. That's Najul Dean, linebacker. I'm trying to get good at the names here.
is DJ Aceman coming in?
No, he's busy tonight, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we might get the whatever kid might be in chat already, but we might get a whatever kid sighting. If whatever kid's in the chats, you know what to do.
Well, when's the last time? What's it called? When's the last time? Kai was on with you guys.
We did like a little get together like 2 weeks ago, and then Kai was just like, "Huh."
Oh. And then
He
you
was
had
just typical Kai self.
and then you had Z on.
Yeah, true.
That would be beast.
That would be-
I wonder what. It's funny. I wonder what Kai would think about Z.
he probably get weirded out.
Yeah, because Z is a very interesting character.
No, geez, people have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Read people on stream tonight. What's up? They're all Cleveland Browns fans. Speaking of Browns fans, I found out Presor's not dead.
What's
Yeah,
going on with him?
I have confirmation that he's not
Going on
dead.
with
Because Presor hasn't uploaded in like, I don't know, 3 weeks. But he's been hibernating on Twitter with a new alias. I might have to show it at halftime.
Beast.
They're down in 1 for the Browns right here. Let's see what they do. They've been throwing a lot of screen passes so far. Telemont.
Kevin Stefanski.
The Stefanski offense. Oh, we got a flag on the play as he just dumps it off.
Wait, I thought they were getting rid of the kickoff this year. Wasn't there talks about that?
That would be ridiculous if they got rid of the kickoff. Why would they get rid of the kickoff?
I thought I heard about that.
Flag down right here. Let's see who.
I mean, if you get rid of special teams, you have to figure you're getting rid of like 33% of the game.
True. You're getting rid of like Justin Tucker. Well, I guess you could still do field goals, but
it's like you already killed off running backs. It's like you already killed off running backs. Do you need to kill off kick returners?
We need more.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, I think special teams is cool because like you can like, that's like a small market of players that you actually need to like pay, right?
Right.
And it's like you could pay someone like a little under like $1 million or a little over $1 million just to go like run and just do basically some cardio on the field.
Ooh, we got 2 penalties. I guess they both offset.
Like a
False
little
start on the Browns and then holding on the Jets.
Wait, who's that? Is that Dan Patrick or what's his name?
Damn.
Oh yeah, how about Mark Jackson?
Yeah, it's like, how do you get replaced on ESPN by Doc Rivers?
It got cucked.
I want to see him as a coach personally because I thought he wasn't like, because he was the coach of the Warriors before Steve Kerr was, and he took them to the playoffs 1 year.
Well, do you think? Where's Mike Budenholzer going to now?
That's a good question. I would assume he would. I would like to see him back on the Spurs after like Doc retires.
Oh.
But let's see. Former head coach. What is Wikipedia? No, he's jobless. I think he should go back to the Spurs.
I remember my prediction: Kirby Smart is going to be in the league by 2025 or something. Could you see
Honestly,
that?
Kirby Smart has all the authority over like in Georgia. In Athens, I'm pretty sure he's the friggin'. He might be the highest paid person in friggin' Georgia who works for the state, which is insane.
Well, that's the thing. That's like what like gets me is like how much money like even like high school coaches in like Texas can make.
True, and then I think Nick Saban's easily the most like paid person in Alabama who works for in the public sector.
Well, like Jeff Saturday, where did he coach at for high school?
I have no idea.
Do you know what state at least?
Chat, can help me out here. Oh, we got 11 people. Let's go.
We're beasting.
We're beasting as Kellen Mond is looking like, oh, he dropped the ball. He dropped it.
I wish Jeff Saturday turned out. That would have been so cool.
Is he back at ESPN? I don't know. He probably got laid off. Third
I wonder
down
if like
10 for the Cleveland Browns right here. The New York Jets have been
I wonder if like
tough.
Peyton Manning like called Jeff Saturday was like, "You're a failure."
You're fair. True. As they're showing Jermaine Johnson, former first round pick of the Jetropolitans. All right, third down. Kellerman's in shotgun. What's he gonna do right here? Takes the
We need Mike Zimmer back.
sacked by Bryce Huff. Jets get the fourth down. Let's see. Is that field goal range?
I wonder how TJ Watt. I wonder if he's going to bounce back this year.
Yeah, he had a down year.
Well, he was also hurt.
I think him and Highsmith. I think TJ Watt's probably due for an upgrade. And Highsmith he's sneaky underrated.
Oh, I love Highsmith. I think he's great. We need Pouncey back.
We need it. Didn't he have a brother as well? Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, Pouncey.
Maurice Pouncey. And the Browns missed a field goal. What else is new? A Predator is on Twitter.
Is that Patrick Tillman? Oh, that's Cedric Tillman.
No! Cade York.
Oh man.
It.
You know what's crazy about Cade York? Remember last year he made that really long field goal, I think, to beat the was it the Giants?
No, I
Or
think
not
it was the
Giants,
Panthers.
or the Panthers, right? Remember that? And then
Yep.
like after that, he just kept missing. Like he just kept
Yeah, because remember that game against unironically the Jets where they blew like a 14. They were up by 14 with like 2 minutes left to go, and the Jets decided to just yobo
pretty much.
with Joe
I mean,
Flacco.
I think the Jets are going to be good this year.
I think so too. I think the big thing with the Jets is it's not
Defense.
Rodgers. Well, the defense. I think the defense is going to be good for the Jets because you got a good pass rush there with they re-signed Quinn Williams for a lot of money, which I think is deserving because Quinn Williams is a really good D tackle, and then they got a good secondary with
one of the best
Gardner,
corners.
the best corners. Even though Asante Samuel on Twitter is like, oh, but Tariq Rowland, he's a beast. He got more interceptions. So they got Sauce Gardner, they got DJ Reed on the other side, who I think is also a good cornerback. I think the thing with the Jets is not Rodgers, but their offensive line that can hold up Rodgers. It's shaky because you got you have like a good like middle offensive line with like Elijah Vera Tucker and Lincoln Tomlinson and I don't know who their center is, but at tackle you got Mekhi Becton coming back from injury, and he's been out for like 2 years, and then you got like a 38-year-old Dwayne Brown. Oh my God, I'm getting Penn State commercials. Beast! So yeah, I think the biggest question mark for the Jets is going to be their O-line and whether or not they can hold up a 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to think. Did Rodgers have trouble with protection at Green Bay his last year?
I don't really think so. I think they still had Bakhtiari.
Yeah,
and they have a decent O-line.
He just was simply just not playing as good.
Yeah, but the thing I think the Jets have a little bit of like injury history. They have a lot of question marks on that line. Other than that, I think their offense is pretty good. I think once Breece Hall comes back from injury, and of course there's that rumor of Dalvin Cook. Oh my God, Zach Wilson!
Remember, we were making a Kai dance about who was the best O line.
Yeah, which definitively, like the Eagles had a better O line, but Kai was like, you know what? I think we're a little bit better. What? But I think the Jets will be good, and I think for the Browns, I think it's just going to be a matter of Deshaun Watson can come back to form because they have a pretty good team. If Deshaun Watson's clicking, because you still got Nick Chubb, You have solid receivers. Like Amari Cooper's there. They recently traded for Elijah Moore from the
Uh huh.
Jets. And the
But
defense is pretty good because they got Zadarius Smith now. Obviously, got Myles Garrett, and their secondary is pretty good.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we had Zedarius for like 1 year,
And he
and then
and he
just
balled out for the Vikings.
he played pretty good. I mean, I think he's just. I mean, he's not like super old because he's like 30, right?
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's still like a decent age for a pass rusher. They're
Yeah.
not running backs.
Well, they still have famous respecter of helmets. What's it called? Myles Garrett.
Yeah, they're still being. Oh, Zach Wilson fell. What like a little bitch.
Wait, so is Wilson really trying to compete with Rodgers right now?
No, I think the Jets brass kind of acknowledged that. Okay, well, Wilson messed up, and I think they're just kind of treating him like how like quarterbacks like when they come into the league, they have like a
Mhm.
mentor.
Yeah.
Like when Holmes got there, he had Alex Smith starting for like a year. They're pretty
Mhm.
much doing that with Wilson, but it's year 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which if you can salvage something out of Zach Wilson, great. But other than that, I think this
We
is
went to
Rodgers'
BYU.
team. Because it's weird because not only did the Jets bring in Rodgers, but they pretty much brought in him in like a whole supporting cast of like Rodgers people. Because you brought in Nathaniel Hackett,
Nathaniel Hackett,
failure of a head coach, as your
Adam
offensive
Lazard,
coordinator.
Alan Lazard, right?
Alan Lazard. I think you also brought in Randall Cobb.
Damn,
And then they tried to recruit Odell, but he signed him with Baltimore.
damn, he literally has the same pool as Tom Brady.
Literally, it's like when Brady brought in Gronk.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that podcast of Gronk where it was like, oh yeah, like I was gonna get traded to, what was it?
Was it
And then
Detroit? I don't know.
yeah, and then he was just like, then he like lied, right? He was just like, yeah, I'm retired.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then Tom Brady goes to Tampa. He's like, Bill, trade me.
I'm not gonna lie, like that would, if I was a Lions fan, I'd make me so pissed.
Yeah, that would be. But that was like when I'm not sure what Dan Campbell was hired. No, he wasn't hired then. Lions are gonna be decent.
People are saying that the Lions are gonna win the NFC North.
Let's see here. I still think the Vikings are going to do well. I think they're at least going to improve on defense because now they got Brian freaking Flores.
Yeah, but you know it's weird. I wonder if this is gonna be like a Jeff Goff moment um, for Kirk, where he's just gonna like play bad as soon as he gets like help.
But he was on a Netflix documentary.
He was a beast. I mean, listen, and I think you even know this as a Giants fan. Like your receiving core was horrible, and the fact that like you guys were able to torch us on D like really says a lot.
We're still horrible.
Yeah,
We got Darren Waller though, and he's been beasting.
and then Saquon was tough.
Yeah, that was
You
the.
only got a year out of Saquon. I thought you guys were gonna franchise tag him.
No, we just upped the money a little bit for 1 year. But I think it's going to be interesting for the Giants this season because because all signs from training camp have been showing like, okay, Danny Dimes has actually been looking good with year 2 in a Dable program.
Well, Dayball, we all know, is a beast.
Football Alex Jones. What?
Let's see.
Let's see your handoff right here. Jets can't tackle. First down. Browns.
Where do you think AJ Brown ranks at?
In terms of wide receivers or overall?
Wide receivers.
I think it's top 5.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Like if I were to put like guys ahead of him, it would be like obviously JJ, and then
So Jay Jetta's what's his name? Would you put what's it called over? Plays for the I can't think of his name, but he plays for the Raiders right now.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, would you put Vontae over him?
Yeah, I put Devontae over him, and then it'll be like Diggs, and then I guess Jamar Chase.
You low key could put what's his name over him too. George Pickens.
George
I think he's actually going to turn out this year. I think he's going
I
to be
think
very
so
good.
too. I think that nucleus with Kenny Pickett and George Pickens is gonna develop. It's weird because the Steelers love drafting receivers and they always develop for some reason, even though they turn into like divas most of the time.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I wonder is George Pickens going to suffer the same fate?
Oh, geez, I hope it's more Juju than Antonio Brown.
And even Juju's pretty bad, but I guess he's
on the Patriots now, which is the
oh,
weirdest team Juju can go to. To be quite honest with you,
wait, the Chiefs traded him?
no, I think he was a free agent. And the
Oh,
Chiefs have no wide receivers, by the way. It's like Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. But knowing Mahomes, he's still got Travis Kelce, so I guess they're still Super Bowl favorites.
yeah, but they did lose a lot. I mean, there was predictions of them going 10-7 this year.
Oh no, let's see here. Oh no, I'm getting. I didn't notice this. Watch NFL games live. Ban this man.
Ban him.
Ban him. It's like, oh crap, we made it to the algorithm. Ban him. Or I could add him as a mod. That'll be even more beast.
Are you kissing the Yankees season goodbye?
Yeah, the season's screwed.
Or is there a lot of ball left to play?
No, I think it's screwed because the Yankees can't hit. They haven't been hitting all season, so.
So what? It's going to be either the Orioles or the Rays winning the division, and then the Rays get a wild card, or the Orioles get a wild card. Blue Jays get a wild card. The Twins win their division. Rangers win their division, and then the Astros get a wild card, something like that.
Ooh, Will McDonald.
What is the big thing with the Rangers? Like, I haven't really been keeping up with them.
Well, they spent big money in the off season. Well,
So they're the only ones that's spending big money and actually doing good.
pretty much because they brought in they brought in DeGrom, but obviously he's out. But the other guys that they brought in like the last few off seasons, like Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, they've been raking, and they got a lot of guys now on the team that are undervalued, but they've made some All-Star. I think they have 5 stars in the All-Star games, which is kind of beast.
Are the Dodgers making? Actually, no, not the Dodgers. The Angels. Actually, this is very good for baseball fans because if the Angels do bad, that means Ohtani's going to leave.
What? And they also got Bruce Bochy as their manager, who I think is going to win Manager of the Year. Former Giants manager, head coach, Brian Daboll.
Brian Daboll.
Oh my God! Another flag. Jets can't cover.
Well, who has the best record of all baseball right now? Is the Braves?
Is it? I think so because the Braves have been hot.
Are they spending big money?
No, I think it's still the same core of guys, like Acuna, and then obviously they got some guys like developing. They're coming up.
How much are they paying Acuna? Well, actually, if Ohtani wasn't the MVP candidate, it'd be Acuna, right?
Oh, geez, let's see here on an 8-year contract, extension for 2027 with $100 million.
Yeah,
he's actually making some pretty cheap money.
Acuna's WAR is like not too far from Ohtani's, but Ohtani does have pitching that goes for him.
That's It's true. Well, Tony's just a cheat code when it comes to war. It's just like, oh well, he's also pitching, so.
Yeah, and he's not even like top 5
Oh
in
my
WAR.
god! Did you?
He just hits so many bombs. I mean, he's gonna win the home run title this year, right?
Is he on pace to? Let's see the home. Yeah, Tony. I think it's weird. I mean,
Look at that OPS plus. Look at that.
look at it. Now
I think.
that's amazing.
Is it worse if the Royals do worse than the Athletics because they actually aren't as like trying to tank as much?
It's true. I remember when they brought. I remember when they had like they had Chapman this offseason and then he brought in Zach Greinke, who I don't even know is on the team anymore. But
Did they dump him?
I hope so. Or I don't know. How do I feel about Zach Greinke still being on there?
There's a lot of
He's still there.
there's a lot of teams right now that are just or there's just a lot of legends right now that are doing horrible.
Yeah, how's Kutch doing?
He's not doing terrible. I mean, you just have better players like Jack Sawinski, and then you have obviously pitching is very good for us, and then also what's it called is doing really good right now too, as you can imagine. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. Oh, Brian Reynolds, he's doing good.
No longer being traded to the Yankees. Well, the Yankees sucked at the deadline. They sucked. They're bad. Oh shit, Rondé Barber. Rondé, your barber.
Your Barb.
The Hall of Fame inductees for this year. You got Rondé Barber. You got Joe Thomas. Who's a
Wait,
beast.
really? Joe
Yeah,
Thomas?
Joe Thomas made the Hall of Fame.
I mean, he's like one of the best like tackles ever.
Yeah, and then he suffered like 10 years of being on a bad team.
For being as good as he is.
Rondé Barber. Let's see.
Well, did he ever play for someone else, or was he a lifer?
No, I think it was a lifer Brown, which you got to respect.
You have to respect, but also feel for.
All right, Milf Hunter's back in the game. Let's see here. He's gonna hand the ball off.
Milf Hunter.
Milf Hunter.
It almost sounds like a full name. Mr. Hunter.
I don't know. My question is, can you actually develop a quarterback for just sitting him behind another one and ask him to watch?
Yeah, because Zach Wilson is not that type.
He's not that guy.
But it also makes sense because Zach Wilson is very young.
Oh, is he like 23? I guess so. Wilson drops back. You're bombing out! Oh. Okay, he actually did something.
Now, are Rondé and Tiki, are they brothers?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they look alike, so.
I mean, Tiki was a giant, right?
Yeah, he was, and then he didn't win a Super Bowl with us. It's like when Don Mattingly left the Yankees right before they won one of their titles.
How do you do it, Don?
You blew it. I think we're. And ironically, Tiki Barber's doing. He's now doing sports radio in New York, which is kind of beast, but also not beast. Because sports radio in New York is just another different breed of just like people calling in from their trucks on like the lunch break to talk shit about their sports team.
Yeah. That is certainly an era of sports media is like going on those shows and like bitching with like the analyst.
Yeah. I remember that's how I keep in touch with like the New York fan base, because even though I'm a Yankees doomer, I turn sports radio on like New York whenever I'm going out for my lunch break, just to see what the fuck is going on, and be like a 50-year-old dad from Long Island who listens to sports radio and nothing else. And there's some Yankees like hopefuls. I remember there's like this one guy who was saying like, "Oh, we can get hot. So wait till Rodon comes back and he starts to play like his former self. We can make the playoffs and we can go on a run. Look at the Braves. Look at the Phillies. Look at them. We got by the deadline." And the Yankees didn't. And then we lost.
So is it only Cole and Judge that are the only ones doing good?
Pretty much. And Judge is coming back from injury, so
yeah. Well,
so it's pretty much Cole. Despite the Yankees being like,
well, he's going to win a Cy Young. He's probably going to win a Cy Young.
He's on track. He's got the best ERA in the America.
He's the best pitching WAR. I think what is he? Is he like 13-2 or something for win loss?
He's like, I think he just got it. I think it's like 10-2.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's weird because like that stat isn't even like looked at really anymore, right? Like
yeah, because that's also depending on like how good the batting is against the other pitcher. So
actually, if anything, I think like what's like an important stat for pitchers, like FIP, I think.
Yeah, or WHIP.
WHIP, yeah. Well, I was looking at basketball WAR, and Jokic is like number one, obviously, but he's double the amount of Joel Embiid for WAR.
Jeez!
Yeah, it was like,
oh my god, the Jets are gonna do a 54-yard field goal.
Jokic was like 25.2, and Joel Embiid was like 11.8 or something.
Oh shit, they made it.
Really...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, is Embiid like really? Because Embiid's like part of like trade rumors now. Of course, he's associated with the Knicks, but it's like, is Embiid really that valuable? Because he's like, he's very much a ball dominant big who gets injured a lot. So
and flops and drops
and flops.
Well, he's very, very useful on defense.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and there's not a lot of good like defensive bigs. They can
AD is the only one really.
Yeah, and then Gobert fell off.
AD is probably the best rim protector in the league. And like, it's so funny because like he is literally the most talented rim defender. Well, I don't know. Draymond overall is just very good on D.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not sure if he. I don't know how many blocks Draymond has, but he's obviously a good perimeter guy.
Well, Draymond was the big thing where it was like, it was like you can put him on anyone on the perimeter and he can guard him, right? Like a small forward, or like a
point guard or center.
Point guard. That's why Kyle Korver's still the best shooter, right?
Bees.
I actually did watch that one podcast. He was on the JJ Redick podcast with
oh shit,
Kyle Korver was, and he was talking about how beast Allen Iverson was.
Yeah, because I remember watching like a 3-point contest, and then AI was the one cheering him on. It was just like, what? Like, as a rookie, you gotta be like yoboing if you have Allen Iverson cheering you on.
It's funny. I actually watched that. I like rewatched that on YouTube, where it was like the 3-point contest. That was pretty beast. I mean,
Korver had like Kyle Korver. I'm not sure if he told us on the podcast or not, or what. But he was originally drafted by the Nets, and then I guess they did like a trade where they sent him to Philly for cash. I think they used it on. I think the Nets used it on like a copy machine.
Well, yeah. I think he talked about that. Well, Korver was he was talking about how like he was never supposed to really like make it in the NBA, and he's like probably one of the best shooting guards ever.
True, all because he's just such a damn good shooter. Like, he's sneaky good. I'm gonna say this. It's not because he's like the greatest like player of all time or anything, but he is the Tom Brady of the NBA.
Yeah, it's like ruthless execution from the perimeter.
and being handsome.
Well, yeah, because everyone says he looks like Ashton Kutcher.
True.
Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. He looks like Ashton Kutcher in what was it, 17 again? High School Musical. I don't know.
Oh no, that's Zac Efron.
What the fuck? I'm dancing.
Because Ashton Kutcher would have been like, dude, where's my car or whatever. I think.
Oh yeah, like didn't he play Steve Jobs? Yes, he did.
Well, it's funny because Zac Efron, according to 17 again, is like the greatest like point guard in high school.
Yeah, true. But he didn't get. Why is he a dad? Why does he look so much different from his high school self? Oh shit! Did they fumble? Yes, they did. Jets got the ball back. Let's see if
Don, did you watch John Wick 4?
I haven't watched John Wick 4.
Did you watch the rest of them?
There's some movies I need to catch up on.
Did we watch John Wick together, or was that
No,
because we watched a lot together.
Yeah, we did. It was back in the old dorm days of Hamilton Hall, Outlook in the Ocean. I will say this. I got a story to tell you. I'm not sure if you remember this, but I don't know if I never told this on stream, but I told this on the Peace and Chaos program back when I used to do politics. With the UFO hearings coming out, I remember seeing a UFO from Hamilton one night.
Oh yeah,
because I don't know. I guess UFO experts think aliens like to hang out on water. But it was during freshman year. I think it was like fall semester, and then I was hanging out with like the girls from like the third floor. Remember those like chatty,
yeah.
right? One of them was sleeping with your roommate at the time, which was kind of beast.
And a thought.
Yeah, and the thought. True. But I was watching American Horror Story with them because I got nothing better to do, and then I look out the window that's facing the lawn, which faces directly out to the shoreline there. And I see this big orange light, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that UFO?" So I go outside, and I see it like coming closer. It gets brighter, and I just see it vanish. I'm just like, "Oh shit!" And I check my phone because I'm paranoid. Because in UFO stories, like wherever you get like abducted, you could like come back, and then the chime changes. I checked my phone. I was like, "Okay, I didn't get abducted." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, it's the theory like you like time like goes forward, but like you don't feel it.
Yeah, you don't feel it because you get knocked out, and then you come back like in the.
But is it like
place.
Is it like anesthesia where like you get knocked out, but like you basically wake up? Like almost
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we had the congressional hearings, and then I'm not sure how much media coverage it got. I know it got a lot of internet coverage, but I know aliens are real now, which is lame because people like when the government's in denial about things.
You know what I low key could go for right now that like I don't like normally? I
What,
could go for
Permanente?
some Takis.
True.
I don't know why, but like probably Takis would be the best during COVID when you can't taste or smell anything.
Oh yeah, this man has COVID right here.
Yep, I got cucked.
You cucked.
I got COVID cucked.
Yeah, because I didn't realize there was a surge going on
Of what?
of COVID. Apparently, it's spreading again.
Yeah, it's not fun. But like COVID is so weak right now because of all the mutations. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really looked into it too much because why would I? I ain't got time for that. But I guess.
Well, yeah, because we kind of have to live our lives.
There are like the names, like the variants, like the Omicron variant. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What variant is this? I don't know. Are they just giving up on COVID?
I mean, our economy literally like died.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, we were
I got
literally like, I mean, we're still like a superpower, but like, the housing market is horrible.
Yeah, you can't afford shit. And people keep saying like, "Oh, you gotta buy now because it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse."
I'm like, if it's gonna get worse, then at this point, like, we're just gonna own nothing and have to rent the whole lives.
Yeah, that sucks because rent's also dumb expensive as well.
Well, yeah, rent sucks because it's like you're not owning anything; you're just paying
You're
someone.
throwing money at you're obviously getting a place to live, but you don't own anything. You don't have any ownership in the means of production.
Yep,
It's just a landlord, which I guess that's why can't communists just buy their own freaking house? God damn it! It's
because they want the KGB to give it to them.
true. Oh my god, who is that slob at offensive coordinator for the Browns? Oh wait, that's
Oh,
Nathaniel Hackett.
was who's that Tim what for Congress right now or Senate?
Ooh, Tim Scott.
Yeah, they're gonna.
He's running for president, so
Oh, is he in the race?
yeah, he's one of the Republicans.
Did he ever run before?
He, I don't think he did. He might have ran in 2020. Well,
What about what?
because Trump was going to get the nomination. So
What about Dr. Ben Carson?
no, I haven't heard anything from Ben Carson. Is he still a heart surgeon? I guess so.
Well, yeah, 'cause he
But
had that research on conjoined twins, right?
yep. And I remember Ben Carson being an absolute like failure of a political candidate. Like, how are you so smart to be a doctor and yet so dumb to run like have
Well,
like
who's that one dude? Mark Rubio is his name.
oh yeah, Marco Rubio. But
Rubio for president.
let's see here. Republican primary polls. Who's ahead? Obviously Trump's ahead, and then there's okay, so according to 538, average as of today, Trump is holding a 40-point lead over DeSantis. He's got 53% of the vote, and then DeSantis got 14%.
Which is hilarious because he could be indicted soon.
True.
Isn't he getting indicted again?
Yeah, I think he got. I think he was in jail. He was at the courthouse today, actually.
Who?
And then we got Ramaswamy. Who the hell is this guy? Is he like that? Vivek. He's the what is he? Vivek Ramaswamy is an American entrepreneur candidate in the 2024 Republican presidential primaries. He was born in Cincinnati. What the hell does he do? That's what I want to know. I think he's probably a billionaire. He's just running.
He's a zillionaire.
Yep, he's a quote unquote anti-woke activist.
Wait, who is?
This tech billionaire that's running.
RFK.
Why am I getting spammed? No, I gotta ban these people.
Who would you rather have date your daughter? Carl Anthony Towns or Draymond Green?
Probably Cat, because I know Draymond's gonna talk shit about me when
he's gonna punch you. He's gonna punch you at dinner.
No, he's gonna kick me in the nuts. He's gonna kick me.
Yeah, but how would you feel knowing that your daughter's going out with someone who's soft?
No. That's a valid point. That's why I'm going with Draymond. Kai's
Well,
gonna be like, yeah, Draymond all the way. Draymond Green. He's such a respecter.
what about Ron Artest versus Dennis Rodman?
Oh, good. Did any of them have like any domestic violence charges?
I think, um, well, because Ron Artest was also he's made a world peace, right?
Yeah.
Because he what did he do? I think
He
made a
did the
world
whole
peace.
Malice of the Palace.
Yeah. Whereas Dennis Rodman is just weird.
He was part of the Bad Boy Pistons.
Bill
Bill
Lambier.
Lambier. Beast.
I love old heads when they talk about the Bad Boy Pistons.
In
Like
today's game,
LeBron would never survive.
find the Bad Boy Pistons.
To be fair, there's one thing I will agree with old heads about is that sentiment, but with AD,
Yeah, he would.
he would probably fold.
He'd probably go on a stretcher.
Well, because remember the Inside Crew, they were laughing at um, AD because he was going on a wheelchair after getting hit in the face.
Oh, bitch.
I mean, if you want to talk about soft, just imagine getting hit in the face and going on a wheelchair.
A wheelchair.
Let's see, how are the Pirates doing tonight? I think we're losing. Oh my god, we're losing horribly.
Oh.
I mean, this is such a better year for us than previous. So, I mean, we were in the what's it called tier last year. We were in the Ace tier.
Yeah, and then you got the number one overall pick in the draft.
Yep, because we're beast. I mean, it is hard to compete with someone like Christian Yelich, because Christian Yelich, he's like diet Aaron Judge, right?
True.
Diet Aaron Judge. Which, if you're diet Aaron Judge, that's pretty freaking good. Because it's like Stanton can't even say he's diet Aaron Judge. He's just diet, right?
No.
Diet Aaron Boone.
Diet Aaron Boone.
Actually,
geez, I'm gonna go on my rant at halftime.
Joe Thomas looks really good for his age.
I know he lost a lot of weight, which I mean, good for him.
Yeah, I'm like Barkley.
What?
Barkley be packing on that Krispy Kreme.
By the way, to continue with these polls right here, Pence has got 4.9% of the votes. I'm not even sure why he's running.
Well, yeah, why the hell is he running of all people?
They hate him.
Did him and Trump have like a falling out?
Yeah, they did.
I remember
Nikki Haley.
I remember like people were so afraid of Pence, like all the LGBT people, because it was like the jokes were like
what he did in Indiana.
Everyone was like electric fence Pence, right?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna zap the gays with Tesla rays.
And then the liberals love him because he's standing against Trump.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I hate to use this talking point like a 21st century disaffected red pillar, but like I will say Trump derangement syndrome is definitely real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you live in New York.
Remember I told you about the rally at Erie?
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
Well, no, I didn't hear about it. I also don't live in Erie at the moment.
You just work for the insurance company.
Well, I work remote.
That's kind of beast.
Yeah, I don't know why he was in Erie, because like I don't know like what kind of demographics up there that he's trying to pull, because like he usually stuck around the Pittsburgh, like greater Pittsburgh area.
Right. But you gotta think like that area is like, okay, it's gonna be pretty red.
Well, Erie's weird because it's also a very poor. Well, it's like very in between. It's like very poor and rich because it's like you have the lake and you have the education, but all the education up in Erie, they don't pay taxes.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's all religious.
oh, okay. So,
Yeah, because like I was like shocked. I was talking to a coworker and I'm like, yeah, I thought Erie would be nicer because like you have all this education and it's like, yeah, but they don't pay taxes. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, it's all Christian or Catholic or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit.
actually, going back to the polls here, I wonder how RFK is doing compared to I wonder if you see anything getting like a percentage.
Yeah,
Democratic
wait, who the Dems gonna put up? Because they can't put up Joe Biden.
they no they
I think a Joe Thomas jersey would be pretty beast.
oh geez, Kennedy's actually pulling at 15%, which is pretty good.
Who's up top?
Of course, Joey B.
Yeah, but like when it comes down to it, they can't run him again.
Well, they got no one else.
What about Kamala Khan?
Kamala Khan. If Joe Biden dies and then Kamala Khan takes over, I think RFK might have a shot.
Which like isn't like unrealistic. I mean, on January 6th, the word synonymous with death and violence. Remember, Portland, it was the summer of peace, right, Don?
I
Aaron Rodgers looks like a coordinator. What the hell?
guess he is calling plays because he kind of owns the team now.
It's the Nathaniel Hackett is his pitch. Is that true?
Nathaniel Hackett. I think he actually tried to get like an ownership stake of the Jets.
How long do you think Rodgers has left? Assuming he gets a good season.
I'm gonna say 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know. It depends on how he plays.
Is he like 36?
He's like 39,
Oh shit.
which is weird because he's kind of the last dying breed of like NFL quarterbacks we grew up watching.
Yeah. Well,
Because who else is in the league? Because Brady's now gone.
Rodgers really hates like slander because like every time he hears a slanderous claim, like he's on the Pat McAfee show, he's like, yeah, well, I have a ring, and it's like you have one ring, bro. You were like
You have a ring.
you were considered one of the best QBs like of all time in terms of talent, and you only have one ring to show for it.
Well, they got Dan Marino. Beast.
Yeah, but you look back at Dan Marino, and you're just like, shit, this guy should have probably won like 8 rings, but he never had help.
If Dan Marino won, I don't know, let's say 2 or 3 rings, would he have been the GOAT? Because he was a much better passer than guys like Elway, and then maybe he's got a better arm than Montana.
I think if you really consider fun to watch in your analysis, I think Dan Marino would probably be the GOAT.
Probably would be.
Because, man, was he flashy for his era.
True, and he's got like, you also say about what's his name, Warren Moon. Oh, they took that pick.
Well, Fran Tarkenton, if he won like a few rings, he probably would have been like.
He probably would have gone down.
He'd probably be top 10, probably top 5, honestly.
If he won like 1 ring, he would have probably been. He's probably like the 3rd best quarterback of the 70s, but he's never mentioned in guys like Staubach and Terry Bradshaw.
Well, it's funny. I mentioned this yesterday, but like I feel like Troy Aikman never gets talked about.
Well, I don't know, because Aikman, I think he really had like the most impressive stats, and he was kind of turnover prone as a quarterback. he obviously benefited from having a great Cowboys team around him. But
Yeah. I wonder if is there a war for football?
ooh, I'm curious.
It's like you basically can make war a stat for any sport for the
You
most part.
could.
Because they have it for basketball and they have it for. It's really important in baseball because like actually there's probably not a more important stat than war for
True.
baseball.
PFF has one, which I mean, PFF is the analyst machine when it comes to looking at stuff. Everyone looks like, oh, what's his PFF grade?
Well, right now Messi, he's like doing insane right now. He has like 2 goals a game or something.
Yeah, I guess the MLS is freaking.
Yeah, but like he's really like bringing like popularity to the sport in America.
It is, and then isn't like the MLS on track to be like the third most popular league in the United States?
Which is so crazy because that means like we could be taking talent from Europe.
We could, which is kind of beast. We're already doing that with basketball.
Well, I think Europeans are going to be fucking pissed at us.
Yeah, because they actually give a shit about soccer.
Yeah, I mean,
with basketball, it's like
they love it, but like it's not like soccer.
Oh, Jets got touchdown by Israel Abanikanda, who played at Pitt, by the way.
What illegitimate state? Remember that?
No.
Left him on an island.
His name really Israel? Yes, his name is Israel. What?
Well, isn't like one of the best MMA fighters right now, Israel?
Yeah. That's beast.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the room rest.
Okay, whatever, kid. Oh no. Let's see here. Is he in chat tonight? I haven't been checking chat. It's just been a bunch of spamming from spammers. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, DJ Aceman's gone. He's a working man now. I don't know. Do I do more preseason games? Let me check the poll here. I did put a poll up. We got 92% for Aaron Rodgers. He's absolutely just killing the game right now in terms of his polling against Dedon Watson. Actually, I should show. When Luke gets back, I'm going to show him the El Presor's Twitter. It's new Twitter. So his new Twitter handle is at Cocoon4, which I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but oh jeez, let me do some commentary right here. Who's in the game for the Browns at quarterback? Because I know the Jets put in what's his name, Tim Boyle, who's another Rodgers disciple. But is GTR in? They got a rookie first rounder of UCLA. Well, I actually put in the description of this video because I know he's going to get good playing time. Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Don, did Trump ever pardon Julian Assange?
No.
Remember there was talks about that?
Yeah, because Trump's a bee. Even though Trump has done like a really shit amount of policies, you gotta give him credit for at least being a man of the culture.
Well, yeah, he's a meme. What do they call KD? He's not just the snake, but the bus driver, right?
No, I remember people calling him the cupcake before EDP.
Did you say cuck cake or cupcake?
Both.
I love how he gets like on Twitter wars with people. Like he's the type of person to go on a podcast and be like, "Yo, it doesn't even get to me, man. I have like all these rings and stuff, and like I'm a beast." And then meanwhile, he'll like, get in a war on Twitter about like what's more valuable, offense or defense.
True. Oh. Yeah,
Like I
people
talk
have been calling him Cupcake. One of his teammates, Kendrick Perkins, gave him a nickname because he thought Kevin Durant was too nice and didn't have a mean streak on the court. Jesus fucking Christ. Durant didn't like the nickname at first, but eventually grew on him and even started embracing it. He started using it as his Twitter handle.
Cupcake.
That's beast.
Dom, what's your opinion on the McRib? Give it to me straight.
Give it. I think it's shit.
What?
I think people overhype it to hell it back every time it fucking comes out, and they're like, "Oh, is it gonna be gone? It's gonna be gone. This is the last time to get the McRib. You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it."
Well, I'm curious. Do you guys have a Cane's where you're at?
We actually got one in Times Square now, which I mean, obviously I don't have access to, but
Yeah, man, that's the thing. I wonder if like, because like you know how like LA's deteriorated. I feel like New York is not on that level of deterioration.
not
Like it's
yet.
it's bad, but it's not like that bad.
Yeah, because people still go to New York for like obviously like job opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are people actually trying to
It's
like.
more gentrified now in some neighborhoods when it wasn't gentrified.
Well, the problem with I think LA is the people that do go there for jobs. It's not even just a matter of the entertainment industry, but it's like YouTubers.
Pretty much, and that's that's the industry that's kind of taking over. I mean, I'm pretty sure they sell Prime everywhere in friggin' LA.
Yeah, but if your whole demographic of like economics relies on YouTubers, that just doesn't seem like a very good model.
No.
Because it's like, at least with New York, it's like, hey, you got your bodegas, right?
Yeah, your bodegas, you got your Wall Street scumbags, but
you still got your entertainment in New York.
yeah, you do. You got like,
but you have a lot of like
even like some like cheap theaters, and there's like a lot of good nightclubs and bars and comedy clubs.
But that's the thing. It's like New York can get down the business when it needs to, because think about it, it's like all banks and stock exchange and whatnot.
I wonder if people could like remember the mass exodus to like. There's a lot. Of course, New York is still on the decline because it's like expensive town. Like, but do you ever think like, okay, what if the New York Stock Exchange just picked up and moved to like I don't know, Nashville or somewhere cheap, a lot cheaper?
That'd be wild, dude. I mean, you'd have to figure like that economy would just get hit horribly.
Yeah, I mean,
it's such a big business function.
Yeah, it is because you go on Wall Street, you see guys in suits. Like, what's the price of gold?
Hell yeah, Eric Andre.
What? That's incredible.
Where he throws up. That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Gold is like $1,000 an ounce.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that's probably my favorite. It's weird, like I've grown out of Eric Andre over the years. I still like to look back and think it's funny because like I think there's too much apathy in the world.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, like Eric Andre. I feel like he had like a couple good memes here and there, but he wasn't like Chappelle where you could just like go back and then.
Well, yeah, because
like
there was no
5 years.
meaning. There was really no meaning behind his jokes. Like you just had to like it for what it was.
Yeah,
It's like with Chappelle. It's like at least there's like, it's like
well thought
satire.
out.
Yeah.
Where I feel like with Eric Andre, it's just like okay, he's acting fucking ridiculous and shit, and he's just hoping it sticks.
If your criteria for something being an art piece is it has to have meaning, then you really can't consider much of comedy to be really art unless it's like satires.
Yeah, true.
Because
Which is why John Stewart is a goat, by the way. But
well, yeah, like political commentary is very much like art, in my opinion, because it's like it's the well, especially back in the day, like it was really good. Like John
yeah,
Stewart was really
like now it's just okay. We know what side you're on. We get it. We get it.
well. John Stewart like really got cucked.
Yeah, he kind of did. I mean, he's still like, I think he's still better than most people, like political satirists now.
Yeah, but he was also just playing white guilt, which is just cringe.
Yep, true.
I don't know. White guilt is pretty much the most cringiest thing at the moment because it's like hey, it's all about fighting for a better tomorrow. You can't like dwell on like shit like that.
You'd be like, oh, I couldn't control this part of me. I don't know. But maybe
Well, it's like
I
not
don't
even
know.
like well, you know that's the thing. Like most people can't even trace their ancestry back to like slavery and whatnot. Only like 10% of the population can.
True.
Because think about it, like I don't know if this was the case for your parents, but most parents were like, "Oh, I'm a my parents were third generation immigrant or fourth generation or whatever, right?"
Yeah,
Where it's like,
like you get tricks like when they got to like Ellis Island during like the late 1800s or like
yeah, it's like I
20.
can't even trace my. I feel like most people can't even trace their ancestry back to like British, like
Yeah, like
like British colonials.
here's the thing with my family. I think my family's been they weren't like they've been in America for like a good bit. I'm not sure if it was like dating back to I don't know, say like the American Revolution, but
Well, what? It's funny. Like, what's your like, what is your background? Are you
I
like
think I think I
German,
am British, which
British?
which I could be a British colonial. So
Oh shoot,
I was a loyalist.
I'm a Spanish conquistador.
No, what? I didn't even notice this chat. Why is Jalen in here? Luke, ban this man.
I hope you got those work papers done.
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 No, not the work papers.
That's the thing, Don. For your job, do you have a lot of meetings?
Uh, you they're usually like pretty on and off. Like
That's
yeah,
like
like
weird.
like I'll have like some projects where it's just like okay, we meet once or once a week or like bi-weekly, and then you just go do whatever.
Well, that's the thing. It's like even if we lived in like an ANCAP society, you still need like accountants.
True, because people gotta manage their fucking. Because if you have currency, then yeah, I mean I would be fucked because if we live in an ANCAP society, there'll be no taxes. But but still,
Well, I was gonna say, since you're accounting, like deal with more tax.
I don't know. Maybe the private sector will have like a fee.
Well, because that'd be like because like if it was ANCAP, then that would still fall under like financial accounting, where
Am I
you'd be
gonna pay
like
like a subscription service for like the private police
the private.
to come protect me?
Honestly, I think the thing that's most beast is the private uh like fire station.
Yeah. It's just like if you can't afford it, good luck pouring out your fucking fire with a garden hose. It's all about the job security. Which is true. I mean, that's why a lot of people go into accounting.
Well, that's the thing. Like I always like to play hypotheticals with like uh if we lived in an ANCAP society, like could my still function with my job? And um it's like even if you're criminal justice, it's like you could be part of the private police, right?
Yeah, true.
Um, software engineering. I'm software engineering, so that would have a place because everything's about innovation. Um,
But if you're an
that's a good.
imprint, but then you're fucked.
Oh, if we lived in an Anthem society, I'm so screwed. It's like
No!
because like my basis for engineering, like because you figure like engineers could thrive in an what's it called, Amprim society, because you're just like making small things, like nothing elaborate,
Yeah.
but like you would. It's weird with Amprim, right? Because it's like, where do you progress? At what point does progressing stop?
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's a good question.
Because like you have to figure like people are probably making things like small things like water mills and shit like that, but like you're building a dock, things like that, but like where does that stop? Because like at some point, like it's so funny because like it gives me like the thought of like how important progress is in the modern world, where it's like, okay, we're just gonna stop here.
We're good. We are done with progressing.
because
This
I
is
guess
the
part of progressing is also like doing things more efficiently. So it's like, oh, we could be doing this a lot better. I guess we're not.
I guess when AI fully takes over and the Terminators come out to kill us. I was talking with Chris Cole one time, and he was just like, "Well, I fear that future. It's very real." I'm just like, it's like I didn't want to believe him because I'm like, dude, what the hell? You think Arnold Schwarzenegger's gonna come out and then freaking try to kill you? But at the same time, it's just like, okay, that's kind of true.
I don't know. Gen Z is very doomer, but I feel like millennials are more doomer than Gen Zers.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the all those climate activists that like stand out in the middle of the streets and they like glue themselves? There's one that glued themselves to like an art museum and they to the wall of an art museum and they couldn't move.
What the hell? Was that like accident or intentional?
No, it was completely on purpose.
Oh my goodness.
And then they recently got pranked by I don't know. I think it was some YouTuber. I think they set off like they put like an alarm on a balloon and they just left it up there in the freaking high rise ceiling because they were meeting in like a little like it looked like a church. It was one of those high rises,
Hmm.
and they just left it up there. I don't know. I got to plan my halftime. I got a lot of things to show at halftime. I know we're not even covering the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because it's like, well, that's the thing. Like, what game should we go? I mean, should we just go to a regular game?
Well, like a regular NFL game.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and Jalen will.
Are the Giants ever going to play the almost the Patriots?
Actually, I
The
think they're upgrading the Pats this year.
No, but are they going to play the Steelers?
I don't think so. Because because I know we're playing the AFC East this year, but there's always like there might be that one team that the NFL randomly adds. I'm like, oh, you're playing them this year. And I'm just like, great.
We could go to
But
Cleveland.
I could go to Cleveland, but it has to be after October 18th because I'm fucked. So are they playing the Vikings? No, I would go. I go to a Vikings game.
Do you want to go to Minnesota? Want to go to US Bank?
Beast.
What's it called? We could go see Waluigi's stadium.
True.
I remember whenever you're in an tree called
This Waluigi looking motherfucker.
Waluigi motherfucker.
Oh shit! The Giants play the Jets October 29th. That's beast.
You should go to that game.
Honestly,
But that means you have to go to New
I've been saying
Jersey.
this for a while, but I might be down to go to a preseason game. I know the Steelers are playing October. No, not October. I was thinking of October. August 19th. Which I might have time to do. I don't know. I got to cross time off for that, but I could do that. Could potentially do that.
You're trying to collect that. Well, you probably get a good 401k.
Yeah, I do.
I would hope so.
And I got my Roth IRA going.
There's like no point in doing pre-tax. Roth is
Yeah.
superior. I mean, there probably is a reason too, but like, there's just not one I can really think of.
You gotta have like a very oddly specific reason to do it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, let's see what else I got. I get health insurance, which isn't that good, by the way. So. But I'm still on Obamacare, so fuck you. Thank you, Obama. Obama. See, we're getting. See, there's your answer. Pre-tax Roth IRA is only good for people who maxed out their post-tax Roth during the year. So there's your answer, Luke. By the way, I'm getting you another Nick Adams cameo. Fuck you. Is even? Yep, he's gone. He's gone. All right, Jalen, you're coming on stream. Fuck you. Let's hear. I did. By the way, I did absolutely nothing today. Well, I did do some things today, but
Yankees winning.
Yankees. Oh, are they still winning? Last time I checked, it was like 3-2 Astros.
It's top 7th with Yankees 4-3.
What? We're winning? No! I'm a doomer.
How would you rate Judge's fielding?
It's actually pretty good.
I mean, he had that one play where he got hurt originally, which was pretty beast.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Judge is, I think he's about like average speed. He's not Mike Trout levels of fast, but he's got like a long stride, and he can obviously like dive for balls as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's an athlete.
Yeah, he's at the bot. He's pretty much a tight end, so he can like move a bit, and obviously he's got like a really good throwing arm, so he can like get people out and shit.
But, and he's pro police.
That's true. Again, you always send me the freaking Fox News.
Yeah,
like those. Like you ever go on like the YouTube app and then you see like, oh shit! By the way, touchdown Cleveland. Have you ever seen like those ads for like the New York Post or like Prairie or Fox News where it's just like, oh, this is why the Sound of Freedom is so beast.
Dear liberals, if you haven't seen The Sound of Freedom, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Drop me.
Remember, John Morant is a conservative hero because he supports gun rights.
It's true.
I always thought that take was really funny by Nick Adams, where it's like stop getting mad at John Morant. He's just exercising his Second Amendment right, and you're just like, huh?
This is like that's not the situation at all, Nick Adams.
Watch your computer. Keep your drinks away from the computer.
Yeah, why did the Yankees not do anything during the deadline?
I have no friggin' idea. Because they're in like a weird state of flux where they're just like they're not like completely bad to the point because they're like a few games out of the wild card, so I guess you have like some incentives to compete. But again, you're the freaking Yankees, so if you're not like if you don't have like World Series aspirations, then you're pretty much just selling your fans out, pretty much.
Yeah, at this point, they should just be selling their soul.
Yeah, and it's weird to me because they're all you think they would sell as well because mean, there wasn't really like once the trade deadline came around, there wasn't really a lot of like targets the Yankees can go after. Oh shit! The Jets actually make score here. There wasn't really like a lot of like trade targets because all of them like dried up. There was like Cody Bellinger, but the Cubs took him off the trade market. There was that one third baseman from the Nationals that actually got traded to the Cubs.
Cody Bellinger, man, what a guy.
He's back. He's actually good. But there's also talks of like who the Yankees could sell, and then Torres was one guy that was brought up like trade discussions with Miami and stuff like that. But I think the Yankees' asking price was too high. They didn't really have a lot of people that they could just sell off for. I mean, you could sell like guys like I don't know, maybe Harrison Bader. You probably could have got something back. I'm not sure if you couldn't get anything back for like Anthony Rizzo or DJ LeMahieu because they're just too old and their contracts are too big.
You could just say fuck the future and just trade Garrett Cole.
Yeah, I could. Because if you think about it, you are selling high there. But no, I think.
I mean, at this point, it's like what is like their future is so strange that like you're probably at the point where it's like, man, we could probably just blow it up.
Yeah, you could, and that's what the Mets did. In fact, that's what I wanted them to do. I was such over like the span of like a couple weeks. In our group chat, I went from like laughing at DJ Aceman from being like a Red Sox
becoming unhinged
Red Sox fan, and now I am the unhinged Yankees fan. I have become more unhinged than him.
Meanwhile, I'm the mentally sane Pirates fan.
You're just like, yeah, we got Kutch back.
We signed Brian Reynolds to 50 million years. Hopefully, we don't trade him.
Let's keep him. What? Keep him?
Well, we also got rid of Santana recently.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we actually gave him to the fucking to the Brewers.
No. Now, why would you? No.
We got Christian Yelich. What the beast?
Wait, that's amazing.
Oh my god, we're getting routed by them. It's 14-1 Brewers.
Yeah, that's what you get for Trey Sanchez.
Who's pitching tonight? Is it Zeller? Or not Zeller, Mitch Keller. Where's Trubisky at?
He's still in Pittsburgh, I think.
Oh, that's right. We were joking about that kissing titties.
Kissing titties. How is Kenny Pickett doing in training camp? I don't know.
I think he's going to be very good this year.
Let's see. Mitch Trubisky is the highest paid backup quarterback.
What about Gardner?
Honestly, I think Gardner might be starting.
Wait, who's he play for now?
The Colts.
Gardner Minshew is going to make the biggest comeback ever.
True. Because I think they brought in Minshew as like a bridge quarterback because they drafted what's his name? Anthony Richardson.
Meanwhile, Stroud.
Yeah, I think he's going to be starting General Mills. If General Mills is starting, that'll be a beast.
Stroud. And do you think he's going to be good this year?
Here's the thing with the Texans. I'm not sure what the hell to think. I think they're going to be absolute shit and they don't have a first round pick. But if they can show like any glimpse of like decency, and also by the way, Stroud has no one to throw to.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be. They don't have.
It was the Texan that was like boycott playing last year.
Oh, what position was he?
He was wide receiver, I think.
Was it Nuke Hopkins? Was it Brandon Cooks? I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Brandon Cooks.
He was like boycotting it.
I think their best receiver now is Robert Woods, which is embarrassing, but
Robert Ory.
what?
Beast.
All right. Let's see. So
I think Boban's going to be the best player next year.
is he still in the Rockets? Boban.
Yeah.
Is he still doing goldfish commercials? Beast. And
What's
State
his
Farm.
what's his nationality? Is he a Serbian?
Yeah, he's Serbian.
Why are there so many Serbian beasts? Because isn't like the best Serbian other than Jokic, Bogdanovic?
Yeah, both Bogdanoviches.
Because doesn't he has the record for most points from a Serbian.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, I mean Jokic is taking his time because he kind of passes.
Şengün's from Turkey. Okay.
I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be the MVP next year.
Honestly, I can see that.
It's actually not a hot take when you actually consider it.
Yeah, if you look at the fact that the Thunder could be on the a team on the rise, like within the next 5 years or so,
because they have Josh Giddey.
They have Josh Gritty.
They have a netball enthusiast.
Who else do they got? They also get Chet back this year.
Chet Holmgren. That's beast.
Thunder have a really good team.
Thunder is a sleeper at the moment.
Well, they really a sleeper because you can kind of tell they just be like, all right, they have 1 million draft picks. It's got to turn into something.
Yeah, but at least it's not like the Hornets, or not the Hornets, but the what are they now?
The Charlotte Bobcats.
Well, at one point.
Oh, the Pelicans.
Not the Pelicans. I guess it is the Hornets. Yeah. Well, MJ was a part. He sold his majority, right?
Yeah, he did.
But he was also what's it called? I think he participated in this year's draft.
Yeah, I think he did.
Which he kind of tanked him.
What, Brandon Miller? No. By the way, in case you were wondering, Preslor has not uploaded to his YouTube channel in 3 weeks. There's been comments on his latest video. Let me pull up his YouTube channel.
Are people losing their mind?
Yeah, people are losing their mind.
They're like, "Where's my regular scheduled mentally ill man?"
No.
What if El Presidor becomes a Fox correspondent?
Not Fox Sports correspondent, Fox News correspondent. No, I can see a Presidor being on One American News Network.
Well, didn't El Presidor get on? Didn't he get on a sports podcast or something where he was talking about the what was the conspiracy theory again? What does he call it?
The Ivy Code.
The Ivy Code, yeah.
I think he got a sports podcast. But there's been I think it's just one of those things that's born out of Cleveland sports and Ohioans. They're just we need to find some reason that the Browns are absolute shit. I know. Look at all these nerds.
Look at these nerds. Look at them dance.
They all peaked in high school.
Like a little bitch.
A little bit. Not far from PA. Let's see here. Apparently a President's Road to 300 a instrumentary.
Well, I mean, honestly, does he even if he doesn't have a job, then I don't think he collects Social Security at his age, right?
No, because he's 50. He's like 52, 53. This is a new Twitter handle, by the way. Or I guess his original Twitter handle. Cocoon of Horror. People are wondering, like, is Contra Bishop dead? What happened? Reptile Predator, cause of death, stage 4. Turks have it Piccolo. Guys, he's not dead. He's actually posting on Twitter. He posts a video on Twitter.
Wow.
Rip Charles Martin. Rip Beast. But he's on Twitter. Or X, or whatever the fuck it's called. And
Why'd they rebrand?
I don't know why they rebranded. You're gonna have to ask Elon Musk. That's who I guess isn't running Twitter, but I guess is.
Well, I think the theory with X was I think Elon Musk already had the domain rights to something called X. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna rebrand.
Let's hear. That's his pin tweets. Imagine being a 51-year-old man and still committing crimes like a teenager. This is very ironic, knowing the man. Let's see here. Watching the new tweet. Watching the Browns' first half, this talent of a roster just jumped out. And you think this may be the best team I've seen in football for the past decades. They're losing 16-7.
You know why? We don't have a lot of VBAC.
Let's see here. And there's this guy that keeps retweeting called Cam Canada, who is also a Browns analyst. This game would not be possible without the financial support of Cocoon Martin. Yeah, that's his new alias now. And I guess these are what his puppets are doing.
Tonight's Hall of Fame matchup is brought to you by Cocoon Martin and his group of legal entities. Cocoon Martin will bring you the greatest return possible if you've been injured in a traffic or workplace accident. That's Cocoon Martin. Cocoon Martin Law Group, we're looking out for you. Legal in 48 states.
Are people just dancing?
Oh wait, so what is he going on about?
Oh yeah, other than this stuff, Mike Tirico wondering how I'm going to be.
Okay, that's actually funny.
Is he making these? I don't know. But let's see here. America's most popular. This is like turning into Nick Adams level. Look at how Aaron Rodgers is picking the Sean Watson's brain. There's this one video where he's pretty much been going after Bengals fans before the preseason started. Tons of Cocoon Martin jerseys at the game tonight. As for me, it. Wait, Tom Grassi.
Don, I have a hot take here. Influencer golf is way worse than influencer boxing. Change my mind.
Yeah, that's true. Because
I don't know.
Because golf is boring.
Well, I just hate like how it's like Curry's like, oh my god, here's the next Tiger Woods.
It's like Beast. You're not doing anything. Let's see.
I'm embarrassed by what I'm seeing from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I truly am. First of all, their defense is horrible. Okay, I mean,
Stephen A. get fired.
The secondary, I don't even want to get
No,
started.
he's still there because
it's
he's
just
the only
embarrassing to watch. I've been
Well,
complaining about it. I
Max
know Mike
Kellerman
Tomlin
did,
got
right?
on me
Yeah, Max
before
Kellerman,
he showed up
however.
on the show because you said the same thing about my offensive line a few years ago, and look at that. Well, I've been talking about the Steelers secondary now for 3 years. I've been talking about it for 3 years. I'm embarrassed by what I have seen from them. It's pretty bad. I'm embarrassed by what I'm seeing from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I truly am.
Okay, imagine going into the season with a quarterback room, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky, knowing you have zero chance in the postseason, but it's Mike Tomlin, so. The only guy that comes close to Watson would be Patrice Mahomes. Other than that, no one even comes close. There's just. I gotta find the one video.
You're a failure.
They're practicing at parking lot downtown. How embarrassing! Let's see here. This is an AI video of Paul Brown. Wow, Cocoon gets followers fast, like very fast. I'm waiting in eternity. We have all pledged allegiance to the GPM of all time. Militia members, specifically the mass members after 10/13/2022. I need a blood sample by Monday. That enclosed envelope that was inside your paychecks just send it to the address you were given and wait for a response from Uncle Jack. Have a good day. I'm dancing. Oh, geez. And there was just one video. Yep, here it is.
Who ain't gonna beat them Bengals? Everybody, the whole NFL. Who ain't gonna beat them Bengals? The whole goddamn league. What's Burrow's record against the Browns? 1-5? It's gotta suck not being able to win a title. God, that suck. You can't even put a hat on that says champ. You guys celebrate fucking participation trophies. Oh, we're in the championship game. Embarrassing. Ain't gonna
Coon Martin, one of the most beloved men in Ohio and known all around the world, just at 1K followers. He should have 1 million. Join me in congratulating Cocoon. Well, an extra C. What the fuck? And watch him tonight as he honors at halftime the Hall of Fame game in Canton. Not doing so hot here, right, Poppy? After being puppetized and personally altered by Cocoon of horror. Your whole life has changed. Now you don't know whether to shit or when you want. You mess with a man who is, quite frankly, 1 trillion times better at life than you.
How can one man be so unhinged?
GPM, BA, BS, MA, MS, PhD, 7-time NFL All-Pro, all-time unsanctioned. It's a bowler brawl. Okay, it's brawler. Bassmaster, senior advisor, animal activist. He's just
Animal activist.
You.
Dawn, I have to ask: are you going to be playing the remakes of Metal Gear?
Definitely gonna get 3 if I can get a new console. And then I think it's gonna be interesting to see how they translate the gameplay over because of the way Metal Gear was like shot. I was like,
also how Kojima's not even there.
Yeah, and they're just like, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. But you're pretty much just telling a story over again, which is, I guess you can do that if you want to go for nostalgia with new graphics,
Fan service.
Because I don't think they're changing any of the dialogue.
What? No.
Which is kind of beast because you're not getting Kiefer Sutherland as Snake anymore.
I actually didn't think he did too bad.
No, like if you think of him just as Venom Snake, then you're like, yeah, he's pretty beast.
Yeah. In fact, I almost feel like David Hayter would have been weird for Venom, especially with the whole reveal.
I've seen some like AI versions of him dubbed over Venom, and it's weird. It is weird, probably because the AI is weird. But there was this other video of that came out like a couple years ago of some guy just like overlapping like a couple clips of David Hayter from, I guess, like MGS or whatever.
Yeah.
Into the real Big Boss's voice when they're in that when they were doing the hospital scene, and like a few others as well. Wouldn't? And it actually was pretty good.
Did you get into Metal Gear because of Rising, or not Rising, or Revengeance?
Honestly, I was into Metal Gear honestly for Smash Brothers.
Oh, you play a Snake.
I played a Snake. Snake was beast, and I was like, "Oh, who the hell is this?"
Yeah, and then you can go down the rabbit hole lore.
It's just like, we need. I go from, oh yeah, I'm gonna go throw C4s and grenades at people and shoot rockets to like, oh geez, we need context to what we watch the media. Get out of your echo chambers, Luke.
Well, did you watch or play 4? Like, did you watch a play of 4?
Yeah, I've watched 4. I mean, 4 is just an entire fucking.
It's a movie.
I didn't play it because I knew for a fact it was just a shit ton of cutscenes.
Yeah, but I mean, because 4 is like the most batshit crazy, where it's like a retelling of everything that's going on, and it's like, oh yeah, also Big Boss is alive.
Yeah, but they say that to the end. It's just, and then you have to like wait. You have to wait for the credits to end. So you're just like, it's like, damn, did Snake commit suicide? I don't know.
Yeah,
But then
I
he's
think
back. Which
I think Portazingod is going to be a beast.
I like how you went from that to Porzingis.
Well, because he's going to be beast.
That's true. He's going to be a beast. He's still.
But I do love me some Metal Gear, though. I will say.
I don't know. Like I think it's incredibly like a lot of the plot points just get weird because I feel like Kojima like had like a ton of missed opportunities. Like when you killed off Liquid and Gray Fox to start out with, and then you just like try to replace them.
Well, the whole thing with Liquid was weird in the first place because it was like, oh, we're gonna cut off his arm. We're gonna cut off his arm, and then we're gonna attach it to his body, and then we're gonna make people think he's still Liquid, but he's not actually.
He's not actually Liquid. But then
Like-
you're just like, oh crap, he's Ocelot. Now.
Well, like the fact that like everyone got tricked, by like everyone got tricked to think that he was like Liquid, and it was just like, how does anyone believe that?
Well, there was that one scene in MGS2 where Liquid's voice did come back. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they just kept it Ocelot for Metal Gear Solid 4.
Well, I guess he was just a really good actor then, but it's so batshit crazy of an idea. I mean, I'm curious. Did you watch any of Death Stranding?
No.
Because that's another batshit crazy game.
You know what's actually a similar game in terms of like story to Metal Gear?
What's that?
DMC.
Oh, I love. Are you talking about Devil May Cry?
Yeah, Devil May Cry.
Oh, I love Devil May Cry. I think it's really cool.
I mean, yeah, Devil May Cry has had like a couple bad games until the third game is Beast, and obviously the fifth is like it's like one of the greatest games to come out of recent memory. So,
Well, yeah, that's the thing with Devil May Cry. Like, I just remember it got ostracized to hell because it was like, oh, it's so edgy, and it's like when you actually like play the game, it's like actually not that bad. Like it is, but like it isn't like it's like kind of the charm, right?
yeah. And there's a lot of like similar plot points to like Metal Gear, like Virgil comes back in a fucking right and like a freaking left arm. Both the mothers are named Eva. Why
Yeah.
the other protagonist loses his arm and gets a cybernetic enhancement? What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. So for Devil May Cry, I've only played the first 3. I own 4 and 5, but I need to play 4 at some point so I get caught up in the series, so I can play 5. I don't know really what 4 adds though. To the
Yeah, it
series.
doesn't really add much. 5 is obviously terrific.
Well, yeah, because 5 is like fucking crazy. I mean, the fact that like you can make a game like MGS5 and it's like, oh, we're gonna hypnotherapy to think this medic is gonna think he's Big Boss. It's like, wait, you can do that?
But then you gotta like really think back to like if you haven't like been caught up with like the Metal Gear lore, it's hard to like think back to like the original like NES games where they're like, oh, it's that Snake. It's not that Snake, it's that Big Boss.
Yeah. Well, I guess after was it after 2 or 3, Kojima was getting like death threats to like make another Metal Gear game. Because like he wasn't going to make another one, but it was like the fans were so fucking crazy that they were like, I don't know what happens.
Was it after? Because I think he did have like intentions to do 4, but I remember Konami was like pressuring him to do 5.
Yeah. Go Jim Bob.
Kojima. What a beast! By the way, Rogers is still wearing the friggin' headset.
I still love the edit of the helmet. Your profile pic.
It's no,
He looks so fucking stupid.
I know.
Like they purposely went out of their way to
Mickey helmet.
make him look as dumb as hell.
Look at this nerd.
He does look like a nerd. And you know what's funny? If you called Aaron Rodgers a nerd to his face, it's like, well, I have more rings than you. And it's like, yeah, you got one ring.
Well, the funny thing is, he has hosted Jeopardy, so I think
It's true.
he
Wait.
kind of qualifies as one.
To be fair, you have to if Rodgers ever did give you shit like that, you could be like, well, Eli Manning has more rings than you.
It's like, what? No, those don't count. It's like, yes, they do.
Well, could you argue one of the rings that Eli has is a Mekhi ring because you just know he owns Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, so I guess you can count the second one.
Not the first one.
Not the first one. The first one will forever.
Well, the first one was helmet catch, right?
First one was helmet catch, and then the second one.
Which, I mean, if you want to go Mekhi down that route, but I think everyone looks at helmet catch as like a thing where it's like, oh, you know, it's a piece of history, you know.
Oh, that wasn't even the catch that won in the game. But it got them into field goal range.
Don, Julius Peppers, right? Top 30?
All time? Yeah.
Well, for his position.
First position? Yeah. I think with Julius Peppers is he had so much longevity.
And that really helps his case.
Yeah,
Well, it's like
and he was consistent. I mean, there were a couple years where he was pretty dominant, especially with like Carolina and then a little bit with Chicago.
That's the thing, right? Oh, no, continue.
But I probably put him in like the same tier as like, I don't know, Dwight Freeney. In terms of like, yeah, he's like a really solid role player on it. Like a really, he could probably be your best defensive line on like a really good team. But he wasn't like, he's not going to be like, I don't know, Lawrence Taylor or.
Well, Dwight Freeney is a beast because he had like very good pass rush moves.
Yeah, have you seen his spin move? It's
yeah, like there's, you know, it's funny. They say the spin move is a very bad move to do because like it can take you out of the pocket, but like he just was really good at it.
He knew how to leverage it.
Yeah, or it didn't become like a weakness; it became like a strength.
I remember one story you told me where you were going up, you were doing O-line, D-line drills, and I guess I'm not sure if you're playing the tackle or guard position, but I think you had someone coming off the edge, and then he tried to spin move, and then you spin moved.
Oh yeah. Wait, so like you're saying like they spun and then I spun with them type thing?
Yep.
Yeah, because like, it's funny. They never really like. I don't know. No one really expects like the spin back. So like,
like you expect like the lineman just be like, "Oh shit, I gotta contain him."
Yeah, low key, the spin works really good. But if they do spin back after you spin back, you're actually dead. Like, there's nothing you can do.
It's like, what? No. Oh shit, he's gone. Okay, we're gonna go into some lore here.
Actually, did you see that? Pat McAfee. He said that he had this graphic of Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow, and it was like Kirk Cousins was like playoff Joker, and then Joe Burrow was like Joe Burr, and then it had all these stats, and it was like Kirk Cousins led in all these different stats over Joe Burrow. And the one stat that Joe Burrow led over Kirk Cousins was like defensive stops or something.
What?
Yep. So he's basically saying that Joe Burrow is worse than Kirk Cousins, which is beast.
That is beast. I mean, you could truly say the Vikings got messed up because of their defense.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be right back.
My man's got COVID.
Yep. I need tissue.
No! After he gets back, I'm going to ask him about his D3 football experience. It's quite beast. If there's anyone still in the chat. Actually, is there? I don't fucking know. Oh, we have 5 viewers. Okay. That's bees. I couldn't see with StreamYards. I might post a link in chat in case anyone wants to come on. Mostly the whatever kid or Jalen if he's still here. But Luke actually used to play D3 football, and there's some experiences there. He didn't actually play. I should probably commentate on the game because I know Dorian Thompson Robinson or whatever the hell his name, the rookie quarterback of UCLA, will always bring up now. Every time that Luke goes to the friggin' bathroom, whatever, he's gonna come back and he's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" All right, what are the Brownies gonna do? 2nd down and 7. I'm not even sure who's in for the Jets right now. He's going under center. He's going to hand the ball off to I don't even know who's the running back for Cleveland. It's like it's probably like an ESPN for that. Jermaine Felton, who is also out of I think he's also out of UCLA. Holding. And Aaron Rodgers has got a freaking headset on. That's another thing about the Jets. I got to talk to Luke about this when he gets back. But I feel like the Jets are probably the most overhyped team I've ever seen in recent memory. Now, because they're in the Hall of Fame game now. They're going to be on Hard Knocks, and obviously they got Rodgers now. So.
Oh yeah, Don. By the way, where are we putting Curry all time?
I'm going to say 7.
Top 7?
Top 7.
He honestly could interchange between 6 and 7, I think.
I think so too, because we talked about this. I think we agreed that the top 5 was going to be, well, top 4 is definitely going to be like Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, and Magic.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, it's going to be like a combination
Will
of your
or Russell.
Will or Russell, which you could put, I guess you could put like Russell behind
The thing
Curry.
is, Russell struggled on offense sometimes in his
yeah,
career.
but he was like really good on defense. But
Oh,
it
he
would
was
make you
very
like wonder like how he would have succeeded in like today's game if he was going up against like Embiid or Jokic. He probably would do well because he did good defensively on Wilt, and we said that Wilt would actually be a beast in today's game because of how sheerly athletic he was. But I think you could probably put. But I think Curry ranks over. I don't know. Does he rank over Tim Duncan? I don't know.
Oh, that's another thing. It's hard to put Timmy D in.
It's
like
hard to rank him because while he was such like a, well, you could say he's like the greatest power forward of all time, and he obviously has like 5 rings. He wasn't always the best scorer.
Yeah, he never really had like a dominant peak, right? He was always just consistent.
Yeah, where it's like Kobe's just like, okay. Kobe was like really dominant from like when he had like Swish Parker. He's like the only person on the team that was scoring.
Well, that's another thing. If we're gonna be unbiased, where does KD like? Is he top 10?
I'd say I go top 15. I don't think it quite cracks into the top 10 because
KD was, even though he was on the Warriors, he was the best player on the Warriors, right?
he was, but he was still on the Warriors, and the Warriors were stacked as hell.
That's the thing. It's like if you're gonna be objective about it, like I'm curious like how much that hurts KD in his all-time discussion, because KD is like undoubtedly the best offensive player, like one of the best offensive scorers.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Like you couldn't even put that in the same vein as Curry, because like while Curry can like launch a 3 at any point, like I just trust KD at any point to like
he can create his own. I think he could like create his own
space. Yeah,
he's a 7-footer who could shoot from pretty much anywhere on the court.
Slim Reaper,
Slim Reaper,
Slim Snake.
Solid as Snake. What?
Well, that was another thing about the MGS series. For MGS2 or 1, right? The thing was like, oh, Liquid has the recessive genes, right? And then Snake has the
It's still debated about like who actually has like the recessive genes because I think like blonde hair is a recessive gene.
yeah. But like the thing is just like that didn't even really mean much in the grand scheme of like who was more of a better fighter, because like
Yeah.
it was more just genetics than it was like, because like I think Liquid was like on part of Foxhound or whatever, so you would have had like the same training that Solid would have.
Yeah, that's. I guess it really just comes down to like their. Maybe it's not like physical, but it's like more metaphorical. Who has like the better moral compass because
Yeah,
if you look, because both of them are. That's another comparison with Devil May Cry. They're both are trying to live in their legacies of their father. Where
well, that's the thing. Solidus was he was like the president, wasn't he?
yeah, he was.
Which is like really funny to me. I remember the scene where it was just not Solidus, but the president that got kidnapped or like captured in 2, and he like gropes Raiden. You're a man?
No, wasn't that a other scene in not MGS2 but MGS3 where Big Boss like dresses up as like a Russian like operator or whatever, and then he wears a mask, and he wears like a face mask and it looks like Raiden, and then Volgan gropes him.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. 2 is probably not even just the most subversive in terms of like the whole like information, control and all that, right?
Yep.
But it's also the most subversive because they literally give us fucking Raiden and it's like, oh, you're gonna enjoy this game. And it's like when you look back on it and you actually think about it, you're like, holy shit, this actually works. Because like while Raiden is insufferable, like that's a huge risk you're taking.
Yeah, and there's still the fans who are like, I don't get to play as Snake.
Which is always funny to me because if you look at the whole series, the series as a whole, you only play as Big Boss in 2 games. Because it would be MGS3, right? And then Peace Walker. I think those are the only ones you play as.
Yeah.
Big Boss. And it's funny, if you want to go even deeper, you're technically not even playing as Big Boss in MGS3 because he doesn't get the title until the end of the game.
Yeah, you're just playing as John or whatever.
Well,
that's Naked Snake.
Naked Snake, yeah.
And then what was I about to say?
Well,
going back to Liquid here, I think it's interesting because I remember watching like one video saying like because remember when the boss died and then everyone was like trying to interpret what the fuck her will was.
Yeah, so much so that they tried to get an AI to do it.
Yep, but the only one that came close to it was pretty much Solid.
Well, Solid did it like unintentionally because it wasn't like he was trying to follow her will. It was just like him just doing his own thing. Which like
he was just like getting tired. It's just like I fucking hate Metal Gear.
Well, yeah, because after 1, he was like before 1, he was like he was in retirement.
Yeah, because he already did Outer Heavens and Tomorrowland and taking that big boss like 2 times.
Yeah, I mean, especially after like taking down his doppelganger, you have to figure like, man, that shit is getting old.
He's like, I'm done. I'm going to. Well, he didn't retire.
Right. They should just remake Metal Gear.
Yeah, they should. That's what they really need to remake because not a lot of people realize that it's like that canon, and I don't think those NES games were that good to begin with.
Yeah, because if you're playing Metal Gear 1, right, that would have been Venom, right? So, you would have been playing that, and then you would have basically saw Venom Snake, like with his like what's it called, with like his shrapnel in his head, and then in the second one you would have just saw just a guy with an eye patch. Because I don't think the thing was, Big Boss is he never had like shrapnel in his head.
No, he didn't.
That's why that would be really cool. It's just
Seeing like Snake and Big Boss fights.
well, and that's the thing. Like they were on the fucking NES and like MSX and shit. Like you could actually like include a lot of lore bits. You could have more dialogue within Metal Gear. So like you
Mhm.
can like because like there is no sense in making the game as pure as it needs to be for the sake of making a remake. Like you need to expand on it
Yeah, you do.
because it's like well, it's funny and
But,
it's like
but it's but that's probably why they're doing the remakes because it's just like okay, we can kind of copy and paste what we're doing.
well, that's the thing. It's like are they going to copy and paste or are they going to add things?
Yeah,
I would-
because you don't really want to change it too much.
Yeah, because if you look at 3, everyone thinks 3 is like a perfect game.
Yeah, I agree in terms of like gameplay.
Even the story, because
Yeah,
like
even the story's like which you
because
don't need to change whatsoever.
well, yeah, because I think Metal Gear 3 is it's by far the simplistic one, but it's also like very coherent and like I mean, there's a lot of like double agents. Like what was her name?
Eva.
Eva, yeah, she like well, it was like cuz she's a double agent, the boss was technically a double agent. She was always working for the United States.
Yep. And then you just had Ocelot running around.
Well, the big thing with 3 was the microfilm at the end where it had like what like $10 million or $10 billion or something.
Yep.
I think that introduced the idea of the philosophers, right?
Well, they give him the funding for that.
Yeah, because I think Eva was part of the philosophers or whatever.
Yeah, they were.
Actually, fucking Signet was, and he was like, you're just like on field, like just weapons expert. I think.
I'm trying to remember what Volgan was in all the grand scheme of things. Was he just some like just big Russian guy that's just led fucking everything?
Well, that's the thing with Volgan. It's like seeing him come back in 5 was so weird because
Yeah, and as freaking fireman
pretty much
of all things.
he didn't even speak. He was just so like just out for vengeance, right?
Yeah, and that was the thing too. Once those guys, and then you realize it was not actually Big Boss. It was just like, oh shit, because there was that one cutscene.
Well, and then they cut that whole chapter with fucking Liquid, which would have been really cool if they kept that in.
Yeah, because I like how they tried to like tie like the franchise together with that.
Well, I think MGS5 is like the most unfortunate game because I really liked it. I thought it was so much fun.
Oh yeah,
It just really sucks that it was like because like not only was it like unfinished, but like the main story felt unfinished. Like even if you include the new chapter, like there were still enough holes where you're like, honestly, you know what they should have did? They should have just carried over from the ending of 5 to him fighting Snake or something. Like just carried right into.
I don't know about that, but because you got to remake the story of 1. There's like one animated. I'm not sure how they did the voice work for it because there's like this one remake of like the end cutscene of Metal Gear 1 where it's just like where Venom's having like a final conversation with Big Boss while he's in like Zanzibar land. It's actually really well done.
This is in what?
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, actually, wasn't it the it was like an SFM, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so, yeah.
That's
Because like it was like a fan made thing. I think I know what you're talking about because it was basically like a telling of what would have happened.
I don't know how they did the voice work for that because it sounds like not only did it sound like Kiefer Sutherland, but they also brought back the guy that did Big Boss and MGS4. It's just like,
Oh yeah, I wonder who that would have been then.
why does Big Boss's voice always change?
You have to ask Ryden.
Yeah, because there was that one cutscene where Ryan goes back in time. Because
Yeah.
apparently Ryan could time travel.
Which is like kind of beast when you think about it, but it's also not.
And then he didn't take his sword. It's just like, oh no, the game developers can upgrade the sword. Oh yeah, I was saying while you were gone, like going back to the football game here. I never seen so much hype around the team this season, other than the New York Jets. It's probably because I live in the New York markets, but
It's because of Bill
it's
Parcells.
Yeah, Bill Parcells, Big Tuna.
Big
But
tuna.
getting to the point where it's just like, okay, what the hell? Because they're in the Hall of Fame game. They're getting like a crap, but they're also going to be on Hard Knocks this year, which I mean which oddly enough was, I think there were like 4 teams eligible for Hard Knocks, and no one wanted to do them, so they forced the Jets to do Hard Knocks this year.
I think the interactions between Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett and Hard Knocks will actually be kind of entertaining.
Yeah, because both of them are really quirky kind of.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So it's like almost like going to be ridiculous to watch when you think about it. I mean, I think the biggest shit show from the Hard Knocks over the years was definitely you could argue the Browns, but I think it was the Cardinals of last year, like the in-season Hard Knocks.
You know what was a boring Hard Knocks? They did the Cowboys one year.
Yeah, they
But
did.
nothing really happened.
I actually watched that one. I do remember that.
But what was Beast? The Lions. You
Yeah,
saw
'cause
like Dan Campbell doing
you have
push-ups.
the dude.
The dude. But this year, I think it's obviously going to be all on Rodgers, and we'll see how much like FaceTime he gets. I mean, obviously with like Hard Knocks, they tried to also focus on like, okay, like here's like an undrafted free agent we're going to be focusing on right here. Let's see if they make the roster. It's always going to be like that extent. And what I like about Hard Knocks is they give you like a real behind the scenes. Like, you know how like NFL teams now have like their own miniseries?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're good, but you can obviously tell like it's filtered and like there's not really like a lot of like real behind the scenes stuff. Like they don't want to show you the bad. Hard Knocks shows you the bad.
Yeah, that's what you need. Which I think as a fan, like you have to understand there's going to be the bad within a franchise. Like,
yeah, that's true. And
it's like what Aaron Boone said. It's like, I can't believe you're I figure you of all people be unemotional.
But then I think with the Jets, they're obviously getting a lot of primetime slots, which I mean could be like a good or bad thing because yeah, the Jets could be like really good this season and be like, and obviously they have playoff expectations. But if you remember like last season, like remember how many like primetime games the Broncos got?
Oh yeah,
and it was just horrible to watch. I feel like that could happen with the Jets this season.
How did Nathaniel Hackett even survive that year?
It's hard.
Actually, do you think Russ is going to be better this year?
He might be because, well, he's actually got Sean Payton now. But even then, like the first thing that Sean Payton did, you know what? His first signing was bring in Jared Stidham, which is like, okay, that's obviously going to be Russ insurance in case he's not there.
Yeah. How about the Saints this year?
Yeah, they got Derek Carr now. I think they could be good because the NFC South is unbelievably weak.
They got my favorite player on the Saints.
What, turnover?
No, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Beast.
I actually really like him. He's a very fun player to watch.
Yeah, he is because he does freaking everything.
You almost like feel for him when you watch him.
And he gets injured. And like, no.
And then you really feel for him. Did you drink a shit ton of fluids when you were sick? With
I
COVID?
tried to. I know it's easier said than done, but
Well, no, I think my problem was I kept trying to fall asleep too much, and then I became dehydrated.
that happens. It happens.
Yeah,
We gotta
COVID?
get. I wish Peach over here because I think he'll give like a really good analysis, even though he's not a doctor whatsoever, of like how to survive COVID.
No, I think COVID is the most unique disease because it's like I'm assuming you were very fatigued.
Yeah, I was.
Like it sucks because like this is not the sickest I've ever felt, but man, it feels really close to it.
Yeah, you don't really know exactly what could happen next.
Yeah, because there's nothing like it. I'm just thankful I didn't get it in its infancy. I mean, I'm not like an unhealthy person, but like, because like, well, the survival rate for like us, like 20-year-olds, is pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good, but you can have like I don't know. COVID is like you can see like some weird stuff with COVID. Like I didn't even know my symptoms were that COVID related. But
I mean, I will say if we ever have another COVID like outbreak, like something like this again, and I am in my 50s, I'm definitely not going to go out.
No, I'm saying the fucking. I'm gonna be like Chuck McGill in Better Call Saul. I have like
Chuck McGill.
have no lights on. Have like a space blanket wrapped around me.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad. I
Really?
enjoyed it more, yeah, because the interactions within Breaking Bad were some of the peak interactions, but some of them were really insufferable, like with Skylar.
Yeah, Skylar really dropped it off. Like yeah, like the store, like how it escalated. What? Yeah, like it's a lot better. I mean, but still, like once they brought in like Lalo, and like
Oh, Lalo was awesome.
Lalo was amazing, and kind of delved into that drug world a little bit more with like Gus and the Salamancas. It's just
Well, I
like
love the scene with Lalo where it's just like, "Tell me again."
and they're and obviously you go into like they really like flush out like more of like the side characters of Breaking Bad before we get like the whites and the pigments. Like obviously Mike Ehrmantraut's. I don't know what did we get to the scene. I don't think we got the scenes where he was in like Philadelphia, like killing those cops.
Yeah.
And then
so
you rewatch
weird.
Breaking Bad, it's just like, damn, this guy's a beast.
Yeah. Well, realistically, that's the thing with Better Call Saul was it was pretty much the Mike show as well.
Yeah, pretty much was.
Like if you wanted more of Saul, but you also wanted more of Mike, you got plenty of like Mike within Saul. I love the scene where he tries to get himself fired at I forgot what the firm was.
Yeah, at the other law firm.
Yeah, where it was just like remember the Coca-Cola desk.
He didn't flush the toilet. What?
I like the one scene where it was just like he's like trying to explain it in like Spanish to like the one worker. It's like, dude, I'm from like Michigan or something. And it was just like, so you had no idea what I was talking about this entire time.
It's just like that's a perfect response. But really, what I will say though is I thought there could have been like some moments where it's just like, okay, I want to see Saul more in the courtroom.
Yeah, I
agree. The courtroom drama a little bit, but it was always more about Jimmy being slipping Jimmy and trying to get into like some shenanigans.
Yeah,
which I like those parts, especially the Kettlemans. I love that.
That whole arc was so cool. I did like that. I like the when he went to go get Lalo's bail money, and then like ended up going to like the courthouse, and it was just like $7 million.
And then you realize Mike is a beast.
Well,
What?
the thing is this I kind of liked Howard a little bit at the beginning, to the point where like I kind of wish he wasn't the villain of it. I don't know. Howard at first came off as very likable. What do you think?
Yeah. Like
Like he was well dressed, well spoken, and like you could see with like Chuck's relationship that like Chuck was in the wrong from some of it.
Yeah,
but
because he was
Howard
the one
was for a lot of it too.
Yep.
Also love the scene where when he's trying to get fired and he's like wearing all the colorful suits.
It's just like, oh crap, that's stuck.
I was like, I understand it's not professional, but like I was like, damn, some of these look actually really cool. Like, do you wear a suit for your job when you go in the office?
Not usually, no.
Do you wear like in like what is it, business casual? Is what they
Yeah,
call it?
like khakis and like a dress shirt.
I wear my Nike Dunks into the work.
What beast?
Yeah, I wore my lobsters in the first day.
What beast?
It was pretty beast because I got some people like say like, "Oh, really cool shoes," and I was like, "Yep, I'm beast." I was like, "Promote me to CEO now."
So didn't you say that you were gonna be working for Lockheed?
No, I know what you're thinking. They offered me, and
Oh, they did.
well, I had a choice between them and Erie, but the thing with Lockheed was my first choice, or not like my first choice, but they were like the first people I had, and then I applied to Erie, and then I got the job, and I was like, well, if I go to Lockheed, then I have to go to King of Prussia, which is out in Philly. And
It's
I was
not
like,
a bad area. I mean, it's
it's not, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. Because it's just like one giant like corporate area.
But I like it here in Pittsburgh, so I wanted to stay.
Beast.
Plus, this job is good because like it's a lot of like learning, like it's a lot of like getting experience for like a senior level job, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Like, I think if I went to Lockheed, they'd be expecting like way more out of me, and like that would have been fine. But there'd been a lot of pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you got to deal with the whole meme.
Well, like when you got, because like when you got done with school, like I don't know, they probably trained you for about a month, right? For
Yeah.
accounting.
Because none of my coursework really applied to it. I mean, some did, but they have like their own ways of doing things. Which is like, and that's kind of a big thing you need to memorize.
Well, you use a lot of like programs, right? Just like
Yeah,
everything's automated for the most part.
pretty much.
But I think like I don't know, you're kind of like a lawyer in the sense where like you kind of have to know the law, right? When it comes to like
Yeah,
tax code.
you kind of got to keep up a little bit. Maybe not so much now if you're like starting out, but like down the line if you're like actually talking to clients, I'm like, okay, you kind of need to know what the fuck you're doing.
Oh, that's another thing. I just realized that's another job where if we lived in an ANCAP society, they would be obsolete. Would be lawyers.
Yeah, because you can go to your own court.
I don't know. Would ANCAPs even have like the private court?
Well, there's no. Is there going to be like any? Well, no. If you don't have like estates, there's no one going to be. Who's going to be enforcing some sort of law, arbitrary law?
Yeah, so like you could have it, but it's like going to be so fucking corrupt.
Is it going to be like, okay, whoever owns like the most of our land can insert their rules and properties?
Yeah, it's like at least with the private police, it's like it's corrupt, but to the point of like, hey, whatever service I need, they're gonna damn well do it, even if
Yeah.
it is like kind of like messed up.
Even if I am paying them monthly to, even like the fire department, even though the chances of your house is catching on fire is very low. then you call the fire department and just like, did you just subscribe to our to our to our additional subscription?
Yeah,
If you pay an extra $5 a month, you will get free 2 visits per year.
honestly, you have to figure there are benefits to not having to deal with the bureaucracy of government.
Yeah, but
You definitely need government at the end of the day.
yeah, you kind of do because I don't know. Everything's decentralized to the point where it's just like private corporations competing to the point where like, okay, because the government doesn't really have like, I mean, they kind of have a profit motive, but it's not as obvious as like a business to the point where it's just like, okay,
Yeah, but that's kind of where the corruption lies, because it's like, it's also like, yeah, while there isn't an incentive, it's like it's kind of like an overhead incentive where like,
yeah.
it's not explicitly like expressed, but
If
like
you're like a politician, for example, obviously you're gonna get a lot of your money from like private donors.
yeah, it's the worst of it. I mean, it's kind of a zero sum game, like when it comes to just society.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like we can't just become like a Marxist state, because it's like, look at Portland.
But I feel like one interesting argument to kind of think about is like, well, at least with like the government, you can at least vote someone out. Well, you could, but you're only one person out of like a whole entire populated group.
Yeah, but the problem is within the 2-party system, it's like
It's completely
kind of
useless.
voting. It's kind of voting for the same person. Like, it sucks too, because it's like people like are like, look at Canada, they have all these parties, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty much the conservatives or the liberals winning every year. So like, I think it goes.
Was that kind of? I'm not sure. Because if you look like mainstream politics, I mean, obviously you got the left and right. So it's like Canada just like a 2-party system in general, because you have like, okay, you have everyone on the left goes to this faction, and everyone on the right goes to the next faction, and whatever like intersection they decide to go with is just kind of going to be the sticking point.
Well, the thing with the party system in Canada is like, the third parties are way more popular than our third parties. Like, but they're still not as popular, where like you're not gonna have a person win. So like, the thing is, like, I think the one party that was on the rise that's like a right wing party for them is the NDP, because it's like a national party.
Yeah,
And they actively took votes away from Trudeau, or from the right wing party to like win the election. So that's why Trudeau won, because they literally took like 5% away of the popular, and that would have been enough to probably win like some of those like electoral like areas or regions, because they do an electoral system like us.
Oh yeah, did you hear Trudeau got he got divorced?
He got divorced. I heard about that.
Oh jeez, he's gonna be paying half.
No, he got prenup.
Oh, really did? Good for
No,
him.
probably not.
What? No. Actually, if I'm going to like the topic of like divorce and stuff like that, I'm automatically going to be segueing into the red pill. Where's my man, the whatever kid? Where is he?
I like the whatever kid, but he seems really like unhinged against the red pillars, and I can understand why.
I
but,
can
like,
understand why, because there's a lot of red pillars that are unhinged.
yeah, so I like sympathize with it, but like, I think with red pillars, you just have to not take them seriously,
No, you can't.
because
But
as soon as you do, you kind of give them power.
But like at the same time, like there are like some like, I think they're like the Andrew Tates out there. Like, okay, he kind of built it. He kind of was the one that kind of started the whole entire movement. And well, he didn't start the movement, but he threw gas
He
in our-
popularized it.
and now it's just like a huge big thing, and now everyone's kind of following.
Yeah,
And then obviously you have the followers now, like the fresh. Well, I guess Fresh and Fit
Fresh
kind
and
of started their podcast like before Tate's took off, but then you get like the Just Pearly things, who's now developing like who's now on Pierre Morgan saying being talked about with Nikki Fuentes. Like that's the thing. Like a couple of years ago, like if you're like doing online politics, then like yeah, you kind of have like a good idea of like who Nick Fuentes was, I think, as like an alternative figure to like the mainstream conservative movement, online conservative movement. But now he's all over the place because he freaking partnered up with Ye.
Yeah, well, Fuentes isn't like a red pillar. He's just a right-wing extremist.
Yeah, but now he's getting platformed by red pillars. And now they have like such a huge audience now. It's just like insane.
Well, because like I remember like actual racists don't even like Nicky Fuentes because he's like I think he has like a Hispanic.
Yeah, he's Hispanic and also he's an alleged cat boy. So
yeah, so it's like, well, that's the thing. Like when it comes to like white nationalism or like white racism or whatever, like they can't even agree on like what is like what are white people. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
because you like ask them like, okay, like how are you going to determine like who gets to live in the ethno state or not? And they're just going to get like really convoluted.
Well, yeah, because like as far as they're concerned, Eastern Europeans aren't white.
Pretty much.
Luca isn't white.
No.
I mean, you pretty much have to be like Indo-European, and at that point, that's like not even a lot of people.
No, it's just you're just gonna have like it's only gonna be like a small minority of people that are like living.
Yeah,
in,
like
I don't know.
because I think like the world population, I think, are mainly darker or tanner skin than white people. I think, right?
Yeah,
because like you have to figure you're considering Africa, you're considering Asia.
Yeah, and obviously they got huge populations over there.
Oh yeah, and then
particularly in Asia.
I guess I never realized how diverse like something like Mexico or like South America is, because you have you have a whole melting pot of people down there. I mean, Chapman's like Cuban, right? And like meanwhile, Cuba also has like white people or like people that at least appear pale or white or whatever.
True.
So it's like a very strange dynamic.
Fucking Destiny is Cuban.
Destiny's Cuban?
Yeah, Destiny is Cuban.
Oh man, you know what's funny about that? He probably doesn't have a good relationship with his grandparents because like they probably view well. I mean, I guess Destiny is a capitalist.
Yeah, he is, but he's very much in favor of regulation. But he's still like, oh, I take my private markets. I'll debate any communist.
Well, I think the only problem I have with Destiny, it's only from a physical appearance standpoint, because I hate how he got blue hair because he's literally a walking stereotype.
Yeah, no, he is, and I hate the fact. I mean, you can have like a debate about like a like monogamous or like polyamorous relationships. The fact that he's in one is just like damaging to his fucking image.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, and Gen Zers don't even make up most of the voting majority or whatever in this country.
No, I think it's still boomers.
That's the thing. Like, there's like no way like a manlet could ever win, like the election, because like boomers are gonna hold a grudge on that, regardless if they're left or right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was. Remember when Obama wrote in his book where it was just like, Pete Buttigieg can't win an election because he's gay and small.
True.
Or it was like he's like gay and like, yeah, it was like gay and small, and he said that's why Pete Buttigieg. Like, I think he was trying to be as sincere as he was like inadvertently being like too honest. You know,
well, again, it's not why we got like I don't know, because it's not why we had like Nancy Pelosi for so long, and obviously Mitch McConnell with his stopping in the middle of the fucking speech. Then,
well, whenever you think establishment, left and right, that's like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, right? Like establishment Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I wouldn't consider someone like AOC to be establishment Democrat. She's just a dumbass.
True.
I mean, she runs like New York's district, right?
Yeah, no, not New York City's.
Oh, I thought it was the Bronx. I thought she handled the Bronx.
Yeah, it's the Bronx and Queens.
That's her district?
Yeah, that's it. That is her district.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, what's her name is like actually kind of racist, like low key. That one,
Oh, Ilhan Omar.
yeah, she kind of is like low key racist.
Yeah, she's a radical, according. Well, yeah, and
Well,
every
she's like a radical against like Israel.
true. She's like burn the place, burn it.
Yeah, I don't think they realize like any position they hold that's
It's
remotely against is the Israeli Palestinian conflict. Like people are gonna die. Like there are
true.
people that are gonna die because of them if they like at any point are like, hey, we got to defund this, not do this. Like it doesn't matter if it's like for Palestine or for Israel. Like people are gonna just like people are just gonna fucking die. Yeah, it's like
it's just like that's blood in your hands.
pretty much. I mean, it's no different from the war in the Middle East.
Yeah, true.
They have weapons of mass destruction. Remember Bush? Weapons of mass destruction.
Though I was listening to Joe Rogan today, and then he was like talking about like how much of like a conspiracy theorist he is, and it makes you like wonder like stuff like the war in Iraq and like Enron stuff like that, like how much of it, like if you're like going down like a rabbit hole or something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can obviously see like it's gonna get to the point where it gets like ridiculous, but whatever, like I think there's like a good point in like saying like, okay, if something's like a conspiracy or something like that, there's got to be at least a little bit of truth to it.
Well, that was the problem. It's like once we were there, we stayed there, and then when Obama got in, we had a war on Yemen, and it was like that was just kind of unnecessary. Like Obama, Obama like prolonged it. That was the problem. Like
yeah, and he prolonged. Well, the drone strikes, the fucking drone strikes.
Well, the drone strike, and then Trump didn't do much better because then we got into like conflicts with Syria, right?
Yeah, and he did even more drone strikes.
Yeah, I mean, I think Obama definitely probably has the most. I don't want to say he has the most blood on his hand, but he definitely could have done things to prevent a lot of it. I mean, I understand he kind of has to uphold some of that because I think Congress just kind of like will eat him alive, but. Like, you know, the corruption didn't stop with him. That's for sure.
No, it did not. Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I wonder, like, if like someone like Ron Paul had like the red button, like, what would he do with it?
Yeah, because he was always just that person, like, I want to get out of the Middle East now.
Well, Ron Paul wants to fucking abolish like the, what is it, like the National Bank or whatever, or the
the Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve. Yeah.
I don't know how viable that is because Ron Paul had some like really crazy ideas about. He wanted to go back to the freaking gold standard, which is, I mean, our money's worthless pretty much. There's no basis in anything really.
I mean,
anything
we're pretty much on an oil standard where it's like whenever you buy oil, you have to buy it with US dollars. But even that is kind of running out because like I think China is like trying to like prop up their currency as like backed in gold or like oil or whatever.
I've heard like some people say like it's backed in like US GDP, which I don't know how clearly that is.
I do genuinely believe that China is on the brink of collapse a little bit. Not in the sense of like it's like there's going to be a revolution, but like I think their economy will take a hit.
I think they're going to fly too close to the sun one day.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's going to have to do with it's funny, it's weird, but I think the globalist world might affect China too much. I think eventually they're going to be diverse for their own good. Like even they don't want to, but then they're going to have to fall into the trap of it.
And it's like, oh shit, what the fuck do we do with all these?
Well, because like I don't even know if China like props up like Chinese like ethnic purity or something.
Yeah, I don't know that either. I know Japan does.
Japan does, but they still like foreigners, and they and it's
Yeah, that's
weird.
weird.
It's
I
tough.
gotta ask Kai about that.
It's tough with Japan, right? Because it's like they have a declining birth rate, and you know what's funny? If if I think if someone were to legitimately ask, like, oh, would you want to go to live in Japan? It's like probably not, because it's like first off, like they're so damn polite, but they probably don't want me here. Like, and I think that's fine. Like that's their prerogative, right?
Yeah,
Like at some point, like if enough people, like foreigners, like if a bunch of Americans just lived in Japan, I mean, at some point it's just going to become America.
pretty much. I mean, that's what happened with a lot of these damn countries. So
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing with like the U.S. It's like that's just kind of what we have right now. So you can like it or don't like it, but that's just what it is. That's the reality of it. I'm just saying Japan doesn't have to be that way if they don't want it. But Japan also has to figure out that fucking declining birth rate.
it's hard to figure it out because there's a lot of other countries that have declining birth rate. Even like the US to some extent, with like I think it's not really necessarily a problem now, but I think it will be a problem in the future.
Yeah, and I think it's probably too extreme to be like, oh, the feminist movement has a hand in
No,
that.
I think it's just the age of the internet.
Yeah, because it's like look at Japan. It's like they pretty much think on ideological like equality terms. I think men and women there, they just like are having trouble having sex.
Pretty much.
Like which like I wonder where that comes from. Like is that just like
I don't know.
because like I refuse to believe that's just like them being shut-ins. Because like I don't know, no one talks about this, but Japan seems like too consumerist for me. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I think
Like
they
no one
they
talks.
they they embrace capitalism way too fucking much.
Yeah, like they're way like they're not as corrupt corporate. Well, they kind of are. It's weird
Yeah,
because
there's some aspects
they
there.
they work a lot harder than we do. Like I feel like the 9 to 5 is non-existent to them.
No, it's more like the
It's more like a 9 to 8.
yep.
Not even that. It's more like a 7 to 8.
Oh geez, where's Kyle? You need him. We need answers. We need answers.
So Kai's what? Half Japanese, half Irish.
Irish? Yeah.
It's funny. I had a there was a coach at Endicott. His name was Coach Golden, and he was half Asian, half Irish, and he was so proud of his Irish heritage. It was so funny.
Wasn't he the deep coordinator or like some
He
sort
wa-
of defensive?
yeah, he was like our. I think he was either D line or D coordinator.
Oh yeah, what the hell was the Endicott football experience like? Because I remember you were pretty much the juice boy.
Yeah, I just did it to try to get myself to start, and it never worked.
Yeah.
I was literally like acting like the like class pet or just like the corporate shell for the sake of like getting a spot. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay, Cleveland took the lead. Fuck. Because I think you played offensive line. So.
Yeah, I played. Well, I was more D line in high school, but I
Oh,
did play O line as well.
But did you get recruited as an offensive lineman?
Yes, and it was weird because I played D line since sophomore year of high school, and whenever I won like an all team award, I won first team or second team all state for offense of line, which was really strange because I was more defensive line oriented.
Yeah, because I'm looking at because I think you have like more of a defensive line build.
Yeah, I mean, because it's more like because I'm kind of small for like a not like a D lineman, but like I have that like kind of stocky, small almost like a dwarf.
Yeah, which you could get away with it, like defensive tackle or even as like a 3 technique.
You
But
can you can definitely get away with it as like a 2 or a 3 tech.
but if you're like
Um,
playing, but if you're playing like tackle or guard, well, maybe you could slide in a guard. But
well,
tackle, you need some more.
we did used to play a like a 3-man. So I was the nose guard, so I would have played like a 0 technique.
Oh, okay.
That was like our first year, which I did miss because I really like going 1-on-1 against the center. Because like when you do play like 2-3 tech, you kind of don't go against someone the whole game. Like you're kind of like, I mean, like the way the game has evolved, when you stretch the field, like you could be getting blocked by the tackle or the guard,
Yeah,
just because of the way how like zones work. I mean, zones.
yeah, and then like someone's got to kick out.
Yeah, I mean, that's why like football like isn't really for everyone. Because like if you're a lineman, you don't really hit as much like as you did back then because of the way zone blocking works.
Yeah, I mean, you
It's
could
like you have blocking
you could push
responsibilities,
someone,
but what's that?
I mean, you could push someone if you're like kicking out. Like
Yeah, but it's a lot of it's like a lot of running for like linemen
it
than
is.
it is like you like getting like a 5-yard burst of like blocking. It's more like you're running and stretching the field, and then you're kind of like hoping your running back has like good vision, so he can make a good like crack back or like cut.
Right, and then obviously like follow his block.
Well, like Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was really good at it. And the Steelers actually had the line to like boot.
Yeah, that's why Le'Veon was so damn good, and then they got to the Jets, and then he was shit.
Well, that's the thing. Le'Veon, did you see Le'Veon apologized to like the Steelers fans?
Oh yeah, I did.
He was basically like regretting it and saying like, "Hey, we should have been better. It's my fault." That was actually a really good route for that touchdown.
I think Le'Veon just realized the value of running backs are going down. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Pretty much. So top 5 receivers, we got Jay Jettas, we got Tyreek Hill, we got Gabe Davis.
What?
Okay. No, we got Stephon Diggs, we got Vontae, and then who we have at 5? We just talked about him.
Oh jeez, what? AJ Brown?
AJ Brown, yeah. So those 5. Do they call AJ Brown Skinny Batman?
Wait, who the hell is Fat Batman?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know why they call him Skinny Batman.
I don't know either. What the hell? Oh yeah, remember that picture of Grant Williams dressed up as Batman, and then Kai would always get fucking pissed off at it.
Wait, who is it?
Grant Williams.
Oh, that was Beast.
Kai would always get pissed. It's just like, nah, fake Draymond. No, fuck you. No, you're Barber. he just spurred.
Look at him spurg. Look at him suffer.
Like a little bit.
Don, I don't want to be sick. I want to be
I
Beast.
want to die. Actually,
I'm not gonna lie. It would suck to die from COVID. Like if there's one way to die,
it's COVID.
Especially if you're like in your 30s too.
Yeah, and then you get like some sort of weird heart condition that. No, you know, it'd be suck even more if you had COVID, but you had like after effects of COVID.
Oh, like you have like pre-existing condition because of it.
Yeah, like yeah.
Well, yeah, because some people did like develop like a heart condition. Like
yeah, other people like develop like blood clots, which is weird.
Well, remember Johnson and Johnson.
Oh yeah, when the vaccine first came out. Yeah, didn't they do like a recall of it?
Yeah, but you know what was weird about it? It only happened in like women, I think.
Oh, really?
Hmm. I mean, I called the Kaiser and I got my Pfizer. You know what I'm saying? You have to figure Kaiser Wilhelm II. He's a very strange guy because it's like shotguns, no, tear gas, yes, right?
There's also the fact that he's also Josh Allen.
Is Thompson Robinson like kind of beast?
He's a rookie from UCLA, and I think he was like a 5th rounder. But I remember some people like valuing him pretty high.
Value him high.
Yeah, because he had like he was a pretty good he's like a sneaky good athlete
Hmm.
in college and stuff like that. I mean, people have watched UCLA, so I guess I could kind of see why. I remember Brett Coleman, legendary YouTube scout, valued him. Brett Coleman's notorious for getting like a bunch of like QBs like right and wrong in the pre-draft process.
Oh yeah.
I think Brett had him at pretty high. At one point,
like a high prospect?
Yeah, like a 2nd or 3rd round pick when he went in like the 5th.
Maybe he'll be a sleeper.
I think he is a sleeper. Because the Browns don't really have like a backup. They have Deshaun Watson, and then behind him it's like Josh Dobbs, former Steeler, and then Kellen Mond, former Viking.
Yeah.
So I guess he could. I guess if the Browns really wanted to, they could have like I don't know, maybe Kellen Mond would be cut. They could have like the 4 quarterback system and hope this guy develops into like a Tom Brady role before Drew Bledsoe got injured.
Drew Bledsoe, no, that's a name.
That's a beast. You know what's a banger jersey? Those like throwback 90s Patriots jerseys.
Yes. Yeah, they honestly the Pats, even nowadays their jerseys look clean.
True, but actually I don't know. Like the 2000s Patriots jerseys. Oh yeah.
I still
Like
think
now I think it's a little bit weird because we're kind of in a new era of the past where they're like a 500 football team, and Bill Belichick has like no idea what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. The fall from grace.
Yeah, true.
I will say the Expos reel had some really cool colors.
True, yeah.
I miss the Montreal Expos.
Didn't they have? I remember when Bartolo pitched for them.
Oh, Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo, that was beast.
Did he actually? That's wild. Because he was a journeyman. He played for a
He
lot.
was. He was a damn good journeyman, but
well, he was the team he stayed on the most. Was it the Mets?
no, I don't think it was the Mets. I know he's most known for being a Met, but
he was a Yankee at one point.
yeah, he was.
Which, by the way, they won today.
What beast?
Stanton hit 4 for 4. No, I'm kidding. That'd be beast though.
That would be beast. Stanton beast. I don't know. My rant with the Yankees is that I was watching the Aaron Boone interview by John Boy, and they were talking about like the Mets trade deadline because they sold off, and they were commenting about like, okay, well, Steve Cohen kind of has like a plan in place where it's just like, okay, well, we're gonna at least replenish the prospect pool for a little bit. We're not gonna be good next year, but by like 2025, we're gonna be active in free agency, and then it's just like, okay, that was what I was hoping the Yankees would kind of do. Just like, okay, what salvage like some value out of like whoever, because they salvaged value of Joey Gallo last year, and if you could do that with him, then I guess you could do that with like anyone else. But I guess no one wanted them. I was hoping they would do that. I guess like get like some prospects back so they can at least like develop them, or at least has like a trade chip, and then booming
Well, that's the
forward.
argument for the Yankees to blow it up.
Yeah, because they don't have. I don't think their farm system is that good.
Yeah, it's like settling for playoffs every year, knowing that you're going to lose probably in the first or second round. Whereas, like, if you just created a core or a group of people that can just like get it done, like can just like get it the hell done. Like you keep people like Judge, you keep your Coles and whatnot, and then you trade for someone that's just actually valuable, that is a beast. Because the Yankees can get a hold of anyone they pretty much want. They could be. I mean, they really can be a World Series team. Believe it or not.
The problem with the Yankees is they've never been good at signing like a big star or anything.
Yeah.
Like they'll just find like some really flashy player on the free agency market or the trade market, trade for him, even though they had like 1 or 2 years of really good play, of really good like games and stuff like that. Like Rodon was, like I think Rodon was the example of it, and Stan had like that amazing year when he won MVP and had like 59 home runs.
Yeah. Well, Stanton's tough too because he's like really tall, and I think him being tall in combination of him getting older just is not good for him.
Well, they're gonna experience that with Judge now. So,
well, that's the thing. So, how tall is Judge?
He's like 6'8".
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
But
yeah,
but
so
he's such a better hitter than friggin' Stanton.
Man, he hit 311 last year. That's pretty good. Like, as Judge, like I know, I just think of Judge as like a home run hitter, but like he actually makes good contact.
He does. Yeah. I think it was like, what was he, like second in batting average last year, which is amazing considering the fact that you've been considered like a
power hitter,
like a power hitter. Like you're either gonna, like for most of his career, like people kind of look at it. Well, Stan's definitely like either you hit a home run or you're striking out kind of player.
Yeah.
Like where Judge isn't really, as he like developed, like the problem with Judge is he couldn't really stay on the field, and there's definitely like moments where he struck out a lot. Now, not so much.
I mean, he's still hitting like 290, which is really good this year.
Yeah, it is.
It's not as good as last year, but I mean, I don't even know if Judge.
That's still impressive.
Yeah. Well, he's showing no sign of like slowing down. Actually, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
He's dying, people. Beast. All right. Cleveland, they don't know how to. This guy's actually pretty beast, I'm not going to lie. Who the hell the Jets got on the field? I don't even know who this guy is. NBC's just bring on, who the hell is Fred? 32 straight seasons as lead producer of primetime NFL football. What the fuck? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Let's see here. Nate McCrory. Oh yeah, let me check on my freaking poll right here. Anyone else vote? Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson's actually coming back. We got a good amount of views tonight.
Don, Stanton goes by Mike, right? Because I think he got made fun of for his name.
Yeah, he. What's his original name?
Giancarlo. Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito. Beast.
Well, because I think Mike is like his middle name, so he just went by
that.
It
is. Formerly known as Mike Stanton.
What makes Cole such a beast?
Let's see here. Well, I remember when he was like unstoppable once he got to like Houston.
Oh, like Chris Sale.
Like, yeah, beast. But wait, does this mean no?
I mean, his ERA this year is like 2.64, which is like incredible. Because what is it like? Is it like 3 and under is considered elite ERA?
Yeah, especially for a starting pitcher. I mean, there are definitely relievers like below 1, but with the amount of volume like they use Cole, like the Yankees definitely try to milk him, like go beyond like 8 innings with him.
Ouch! They're gonna
Which is
blow his arm
insane.
out.
Yeah, which is kind of scary now because I think the Yankees are losing a bit of pitching depth. I mean, even though Herman had the perfect season, he's not going to be out for the rest of the year because he's a fucking alcohol abuser and he also beats his girlfriend. So
Wait, who does?
Domingo Herman.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit.
No kidding. What a fucking asshole.
So now he's out, and then I don't know if the Yankees. Well, the Yankees are not going to make the playoffs, but other than Cole, it's like you're hoping Carlos Rodon bounces back. Severino is absolutely dog shit now,
Yeah.
and you had Clark Schmidt, who's actually been all right this season. He's been pretty good. That's pretty much it.
Mookie Betts hasn't been his elite self since like
No, yeah.
he's good. He's very valuable, but he's not as like elite as he was. I mean, he was very good on the Sox. Like he was just like fucking legendary. Because there's one season he hit for like 350, I think.
Yeah,
Like 2018, I think.
yeah, but back when the Red Sox won the World Series, and we went shut the hell up. We were freshmen.
Well,
we saw it all unfold.
Well, it's like Chris Sale, where it was just like, oh, he's so good, he's so legendary. It just sucks.
And now PJ hates him. Not as much as the Trevoring. Which, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Trevor Story's that bad of a player when he's healthy. That's a big if.
Well, how much do they pay Trevor Story?
I don't think they paid him that much. Like yeah, they paid him a crap ton of money, but it's not like he's getting like a Giancarlo Stanton bag. Even then, I think the Yankees are not paying like incredibly well. Yeah, they're still paying a shit ton, but
He went to Louisiana State. What the hell?
what?
I mean, went to LSU.
LSU, what a joke now because of fucking Livy Dunn. What? And baby Gronk.
Well, I remember didn't Gronk put a like a what do they call that? Like a almost like a subpoena.
Oh yeah, against baby Gronk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be.
There's a word for it. I just can't think of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same thing if I were Gronk.
Well, yeah, because I guess his dad is like a piece of shit because it's just like he is like
abuses his
monetizing
kid.
his son.
Yeah, he's the one kind of leading the charge. Oh shit, can the Jets actually pull out a win here? Oh yeah, what?
Jamarcus Russell's coming back.
What? Actually, there was one Mike Francesa caller like 6 years ago who called into the show asking if the Giants would sign Jamarcus Russell at center, which I thought was pretty beast.
RG3 still he's a backup, right?
No, I think he's still. Well, I don't know if he got fired from ESPN, but
Oh wait, no, he was a backup like a couple years ago or whatever.
Oh yeah, with Baltimore, and he was actually kind of beast.
Yeah, because he came in for Lamar. I wonder if they were just trying to have him as a backup for Lamar for the sake of like they kind of have a similar game.
Yeah, and then Roberts RG3 was kind of that. I don't know, like he's kind of like how Derrick Rose is now. I hate to compare them to because they both have such similar fucking careers, but it's true.
Yeah. I'm curious how Drake London's going to do.
Yeah, that's the thing because
He had a
can't
very
predict
good.
what-
He had a very good year.
He did, but you can't predict what the fuck the Falcons are gonna do because
Are they still riding with Mariota?
no, I think Mariota's gone. I think he's with the I don't know who he's with the Eagles now, and so they're rocking with Desmond Ritter,
Oh, beast.
and they just drafted Bijan Robinson, so that and like remember how last year how Kyle Pitts was not used at all.
Yeah.
I feel like this year they're just gonna give the ball to Bijan Robinson and let him cook.
I mean, well, it's honestly like someone like Dylan Brooks, right? Where like people like think like, oh, China, he's gonna go play for China, and it's like, honestly, he still kind of has some value in the league.
Yeah, he did get the bag with Houston, so
Isn't Russell Westbrook only making like $8 million?
that's kind of beast. Well, from a team perspective, from his perspective, he's fucked.
Well, yeah, because he's still gonna play a lot. He's only gonna make $8 million. Russell's tough. You don't want to give him the bag.
No, you don't because he's so ball dominant. Well, he doesn't really. Well, if he knows his role, I think he could be a pretty good player.
Yeah, but what is Russell Westbrook and him knowing his role? Is that him taking a really bad three?
Pretty much. But even then, he wasn't bad for the Clippers last season.
No, I think the Westbrook trade was probably the most mutually like beneficial for both teams, right?
What the Wizards and Lakers trade him?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I guess it was like a three-way trade, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, see, the Wizards got Kuzma back, which I guess is pretty good value.
Now is Kuz is he like a person that needs the baddies to be around?
It kind of. So he's gonna fit right in with Jordan Poole.
So that's Austin Reeves, Jordan Poole, and Kyle Kuzma are the baddies.
Pretty much.
I guess Jimmy Butler kind of is, right?
No, Jimmy just needs the playoffs.
when the baddie is the playoffs.
Playoffs.
When did the Giants play?
Let's see here.
Well, actually, it's week 1. They play at Rutherford.
Yeah, they play against the them Cowboys. PJ's team.
Oh shit! They actually do play at home though.
Yeah, they do.
Bro, I'm about to come up for that.
What? Beast?
Why are the Jets and the Giants still sharing a field?
Honestly, I think the Jets. I think they should build like a stadium like Long Island because that's where all the Jets fans are.
Strong Island.
Strong Island, baby. Oh shit! They're down for the Jets.
It is pretty funny though that the Sox and the Yankees are like sworn enemies, yet they're both like mutually doing horrible right now.
Yeah, and now it's like a competition. It's a competition between me and PJ, like who has the bigger victim complex. Because PJ acts scorn when the Red Sox are not they're not terrible. Like, despite the expectations they have, they're not terrible. They
But
have
when he
some
talks about
holes.
Trevor's story, it does sound a lot worse than it is.
Like, is Trevor's story really that bad? Well, he's injured. That's the problem. The Trevoring. Because I don't know. I think it's so funny, like, because even though Trevor's story's out, like, there's a lot wrong with the Red Sox besides fucking Trevor's story, and yet he just goes to him as the root of all evil
Pretty
in the
much.
Red Sox organization.
Yeah, I guess he does get mad at ownership.
So I wonder if, like, he is the real puppet master.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Suns and how they're playing 2K.
2K my league. They turned injuries off. What?
Yeah, because wasn't depth a problem this year, and they did nothing to rectify it for next year?
Yeah, pretty much. Would they trade for Beal? Other than like a crap ton of first round picks.
Well, what's it called part of a 3-way trade for him? Portazingod.
No, that was last season. So
Okay.
actually, I think Porzingis might sign with Washington. I don't know.
Well, that's pretty good. Oh no, he's isn't Porzingod with the Celtics now?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which that's going to be good for the Celtics, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, that's gonna be really good for the Celtics. Because you could say like, "Oh, we gave up Marcus Smart."
Well, I think Portazingod is a 13 player, or he has the potential to be a 13 like player.
Yeah, they. Oh shit! It's actually going down to the wire.
Nicholas Chubb.
Oh, they almost threw a pick.
I love Myles Garrett's PR spin, where it was just like kills a man on the field and then wins man of the year. Walter Payton.
Class act, Myles Garrett, famous helmet respecter.
Yeah, but I think there needs to be an agreement amongst all fans, except Suns fans, that if they crash and burn, then everybody just wins that year.
True.
Because really, like, what is their team like good for as far as the sport is concerned? It's just a bunch of ISO players.
Pretty much, and then we all know the ball stops moving after that. So it's just like, oh, how are you going to structure your offense now?
I like how the Bulls are just completely content being a 500 team.
Yeah, they didn't even do anything. They just brought back all their guys. So they're just like, we're gonna. That's a Yankees move right there.
Is Vucevic on there?
Yeah, he's still on there.
Yeah, because I think they re-signed him, or as they like to call him, Vucci Main.
Look, I sneezed. Oh, what the fuck is this shit?
Who's better, Paul Pierce or Dwayne Wade?
D Wade.
Yeah. Paul Pierce is weird. We talked about him before, where he's just a weird case of like, you don't want to rate him as high as maybe he should be.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put him over Melo, even though
He actually won a ring.
even though he actually won a ring, and he did torch the Knicks a lot. So,
But like when it comes to it down to it, it's like while Paul Pierce was good, I mean, he kind of had KG.
yeah, KG and Ray Allen and Rondo And
But
Kendrick
Braun had Wade, Ray Allen. I don't know. Bosch is overrated.
Yeah, I like how Bosch went from like a purely dominant big athletic big man to like a guy that shoots threes.
Yeah, Bosch is very overrated to me.
Because when they got him, it's just like, oh, we're gonna be a super team now. Let's go. And then Bosch is like pretty much reverts into a role player.
I think Jared Goff is actually. I think the situation is good for him in Detroit.
Yeah, because he's got a solid offense.
He also has a very laid back coach.
Yeah, a beast. Who actually got the most out of him? Like people will say, like, oh, Sean McVay was the reason why Jared Goff succeeded, which I guess is partly true. But then Dan Campbell comes in, and then Goff is putting up like great numbers in it. It's just like, whoa.
I mean, I don't know. It's like you can go as far as to say that Sean McVay turned Matt Stafford into a good player.
True. Stat Pafford.
It is wild to me that Cooper Kupp was like a top 1 receiver one year. When you look at all the talented receivers and you're like, wow, Cooper Kupp was like was the undoubtedly like best receiver.
Honestly, I think Cooper Kupp might have a bounce back.
I still think he's like top 10.
Yeah, I still think so too.
Maybe like outside top 10, but not very far.
No, it's just the fact that the Rams are absolutely crap now.
Baker Mayfield.
They got Stetson Bennett now. That's beast.
All right, who's going to be good for college next year?
Let's see here. I'm not sure who the hell Georgia's quarterback. Well,
is Bama going to make a comeback?
see, I don't even see with all these. I feel like USC might be sneaky good this year, huh? Because they got Caleb Williams. I don't know. Let me check my rankings. I don't follow college football that religiously compared to some other people.
Did you see iDubbbs' apology?
I think it's a little too late for that.
Well, he's exhibiting white guilt.
No, we don't. You're supposed to be the chosen one.
How much does this game matter in the grand scheme of it all?
Not a whole lot because it's the first preseason game.
But it's a Hall of Fame game.
It's the football is back game.
We're back.
We're back. That's fucking football right there.
Don, you know who sucks?
Ooh.
D'Lo.
Yeah, true.
Actually, not really. It's actually not so much D'Lo. It's more like Rui. What?
What?
No. D'Lo does kind of suck right now. I don't know what's going on.
I thought he'd be an upgrade over Russ. I'm like, nope.
But was it Rui that was like after the game when he lost? It was just like him taking like practice shots where it was just like, we got to come back. We got to bounce back.
Why is King Trump trending on Twitter? Anyways, what do you think of this new alias that Quantrill's going by?
I probably won't know much to think about it until he releases a YouTube apology video, like all the great YouTubers.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to work out. I just got off NFL Network and ESPN, and I spoke to some people in Cincinnati last night, and they have a tremendous fear that Joe Burrow's calf strain could result into something catastrophic, like maybe the Achilles heel. And their problem right now is it's been lingering for a while. And the problem is Joe Burrow hasn't told them about it lingering. He told them, oh, yeah, everything's fine. But then, the last week we see what happened. So with an injury like that, you have to be 100% honest with your training staff. He wants to play, and that's the problem. If you're not honest, that thing could rupture into an Achilles tendon. And Joe Burrow needs to be honest with his training staff. Right? The word out of Cincinnati right now with the people I spoke to is he won't make week 1 or week 2. So Cincinnati's going to go to their backup, Trevor Seaman. That's what I'm getting out of my reports for Cincinnati, the people I've talked to. But Joe Burrow has to be completely honest with the training staff, because if he's not honest, they can't diagnose it and treat it the correct way. Because once something like that happens, you could be in trouble. And if he's going out there saying it's fine and it's not, and it ruptures into an Achilles, there's going to be a lawsuit. The Bengals ain't going to pay his salary. I'll tell you that right now. As much as people think that the Cincinnati people love Joe Burrow, which they do, if you're not honest with your training staff and it ruptures into an Achilles, there's a problem. And it's a massive problem for an organization like the Cincinnati Bengals, who rely on Joe Burrow more than anything right now, him and Jamar Chase connection. So if Joe Burrow's not honest, and like I say, he's probably not going to play week 1 or 2. More than likely, that's probably, if I'm guessing right now, I had to put a percentage on it, I'm going to say 95% he's not playing week 1 or 2. Trevor Seaman, I think it's next. But Joe Burrow's got to be honest with the training staff. He was not honest, and that's why his calf strain, he went down. It's been lingering for a while, and I think Joe Burrow knows that. So the people I talked to in Cincinnati, situation where it could be a long.
Where's the party where it's spooky?
Did the Bengals drop Eli Apple after, didn't he have a fit last year?
Yeah, he did.
Is that why they dropped him?
I don't know. I think they dropped him because he's absolute trash, but
It seems like he has some value. Maybe not for the Bengals, but for someone else.
and it's so weird they went to freaking Miami with Tyreek Hill is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always wonder if Tyreek Hill, if he's just that good or if he's just that fast. You know what I mean?
Well, you had John Ross, who ran the fastest 40 time in the combine, and he was complete shit. So I think it might be the Hill is a beast.
Yeah, you also do. Do they still have Waddle?
Yeah, they still got Waddle.
That's pretty beast. That's a good core right there. And then wait, did they have Mike Gesicki?
No, I think Mike Gesicki's on the Pats now.
Holy shit! You think this is the year the Pats turn it around?
Penn State's finest, baby. Other than Pat Fryer move.
Nothing's better than those gritties from Mike Gesicki. It was look at him. He's making the baddies wet. All right, Don. I need to get going. I am tired.
Yep, I'm going to end the stream. Anyways, that was the coverage of NFL. Thanks for sticking around. And Kai, keep dancing. Fins up!
Dance. Fins up.